to just get, some like conversation started, and then it can go wherever it wants to go. It's not like super structured or whatever.
Still sounds scary.
Seems
Seems like you're gonna pry a little bit here.
with her, yeah, but she's asking for it. She's like prying up.
We're all funny. We all are funny people. So
Like, okay, example.
we don't have to be too serious
Mine's
about it.
stupid dad humor. Then,
Yeah.
Obvious.
I like that kind of humor.
We like that joke.
Don't encourage me.
Love the dad.
Okay.
humor.
Yeah, there's
I know
a
you
crack
were
the dad
gonna do
joke
that.
book in the.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I don't know, I used the illustrated one.
Oh, you did.
That's what
It's right
You're what?
My phone.
It was right there. Anybody know what Pauline's phone is?
So you get practiced up
I don't know
because
where my phone is.
Can we have
when I come back around this way, when I'm having stuff going, we need to try something. Because I've been wanting to try something like that where I take a song and
There's
then
somebody's phone.
take one of my songs and
Oh, it might be
you
in the
jazz it
chair.
up
Sure.
so I could have a version.
Mine's on the table, I think.
Sounds like fun to me.
Thank you.
Is there my cell phone on the table?
Yeah, I almost lost mine down there too.
I found mine.
Everything gets lost down there.
No.
But yeah, I'd like to try a project so you get practiced
Wow,
up
I
on
was
that.
detached.
Sounds fun to me.
And try that metal thing,
The-
like I said. Use like a Slayer
The
or
actual
something.
I've
guest
done it.
bathroom
It's fun.
is
Oh, okay.
open now.
Yeah.
I moved the seat.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine that's real into metal.
Okay.
He was over one day and he's like,
Oh.
you can do anything on this? And I was like, yeah, what do you want to hear?
I want to get the
I felt
guys so
like
I
I
could
was
do like a
falling down
country
the-
band
Yeah.
and then a metal band.
Oh,
Because
right.
I do lots, I still do the
Yeah.
electric metal stuff
Yeah.
and my original
No, it's still in
slow
my
dance
room.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
The
Did I
I've
find
been
it?
like,
Which
I
is
should
funny
try to do
because
that, just be an old man
the
metal
toilet
band.
seat in the guest bathroom is
it.
lower,
Yeah.
and then the one in
Oh,
mine is
okay.
higher, so then I put it on mine, and then I used it, and my feet were like.
The toilet, it's like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can almost swing my feet, and I'm
Yeah.
not that short.
Oh, yeah. Brandon said, I'm changing that up today, or tonight, so you can get up. Like, it's okay, just leave it there, it's fine. He's like, I don't care about anybody else, I care about you getting up off of this toilet. They can get up, you can't get up.
That's right.
And I'm like, oh,
No.
Yeah.
okay.
Well, wouldn't it be easier if it's higher?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is
Oh,
higher.
that's what you're saying.
It's
Yeah,
harder for me.
that's-
I got
It's-
backwards.
It's hard, yeah.
It's harder
Yeah.
for me to get up, but I always think about everybody else, so.
Don't worry about
And
it.
yeah, and he just basically.
That just in your nature.
I have
It
to
just
you
take
takes-
know.
over
it just
that
takes
they've
some
been teaching
sitting
me to
down
think
that
about
you used
myself.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, when did selfish become a bad word?
yeah,
We're supposed to take care of ourselves.
That's right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that's
Are we
right.
rolling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we are.
You have been.
That's
And
how-
action.
that's how we
Oh,
roll.
the
Seriously,
late.
it's on, yeah.
That's how we roll.
Okay.
So what's first?
Interview.
Long,
Interview
what's
part
up?
two.
Interview part 2.
Interview part
With
2,
the
what's
fam.
the date?
I have no idea. I don't even know what
It's the sixth.
I don't even know what day
Yeah.
of the week it is.
Thursday,
Thursday.
Thursday.
the 6th.
It's 5 days.
And we have 2 new people
Yeah,
here,
that's right.
Scott and Brenda.
Yeah, I don't even think we
Yeah, we
said
didn't really
we
talk.
didn't really say who was part of the,
Yeah.
well, I guess we all came together at the end though.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
y'all almost crushed me.
Oh, we doggy piled her for sure.
Jeez.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see, what do we want to start with right now? Okay.
Truth or dare?
I
It's
know.
not that, Scott. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No.
Dang.
What?
See? I told you.
Never have I
guys.
ever.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Okay, Flong Flong. What has life taught you about love?
What has life taught me about love?
This bracket of questions is.
Well, what has life taught me about love? We better come back to that one.
Okay.
I know.
Oh,
Go
shit.
for it.
Share.
No, go for it.
That the universe is love.
Oh.
There you go.
Yes,
That's
that's
right.
I love that. That's
Somebody will
beautiful.
teach you that.
Oh, that's so
Love
beautiful.
just pours on your head like water.
You focus
It's
on
really
loving
freaky.
others and not expecting
Yeah, no,
back,
that's a
it
good
does come
answer.
back to you.
That's funny. I got it.
Yeah.
You always taught me to show love no matter what. You
Right.
know, even if
No matter what religion
Yeah.
or,
yeah, and
Yeah.
even if people are making you angry or everything, there's still room for love.
that's right.
In
Oh, you
fact, she
sound
would.
so Libby. Oh.
I know. Well,
shut
in
up.
fact, she would always say, "My religion is love,"
Mm.
because we weren't really raised like under a super specific, you know, Christian
Dogma.
or Catholic. Yeah.
Well, I
and
wanted
she
it
would
to
say,
be open
Yeah.
for them,
Yeah.
you guys to pick your own way. I mean, I know your dad wanted, you know, to, and we probably should have exposed you guys to some religions and then let you decide, but my whole thing was I didn't wanna, what is it when you corrupt their brain?
Brainwash.
I don't know if corrupt is the right word, but.
Some
Yeah.
religions do.
It's like grooming into a certain,
Grooming into
groom,
a certain thing,
into
yeah.
a certain mold.
I wanted them
right.
to sort of learn things as they grew up and then make their own choice. And whatever their choice was fine.
You don't need
It was
a
fine.
religion, though, really. A certain one.
Well, some people do, and
Yeah,
that's
some
fine.
people,
And that's,
I call
and
it
that's
faith
fine
and
too.
relationship rather than religion, I
Yeah,
don't like that word,
that's
I
fine.
like
That's
faith
fine
and
too, yeah.
relationship.
I guess I do all of them in a way, so.
Mhm.
And
Right.
I study theology, so
Right,
I guess that's. But I'm not religious. I don't pray.
I know, right?
He doesn't want to hear my whining, though.
That's what Tim says, you're an idiot.
So actually, thank you, Jackie. My religion is love, that's true.
yes. Okay, what is
But
one?
wait a minute,
Oh,
in every religion
Is love.
is love.
Mhm.
yes.
In every book of religion.
Yeah, but that
is love.
Quran, there's a lot of Jew hate, and we can get
Yeah.
into that.
Haters.
I really, yeah,
Well,
it's
Muhammad was-
kind of evident. But I have, you know,
But
I'm
we're
not
not
reading.
gonna get
That's
into
a
religious
Molly
talk. No.
Yeah.
Sorry, I always
Move
gotta
on.
pipe up with something.
Okay.
Next question.
We're good, we're not kicking you out, it's fine.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's just that we could go down the rabbit hole,
Yeah.
you know, and everybody here
Is different.
is different.
Everybody
Yeah.
is different.
But
and
who's the
different
common
walks.
denominator? Long, and what's the other common denominator? Love.
That's right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. What is one thing you wish people knew about life? Or what is one
It's
thing?
tricky,
Yeah.
it's tricky.
And I'll couple this also. What is one thing you wish people knew about you? Life
Okay, so
and you.
You're
life-
saying life is tricky or the question is tricky?
No, life is tricky.
Mhm.
Life is very difficult, but it's very beautiful. Period, I mean,
We were
It's a
just
journey.
talking about this actually, you know, having everybody here, it's been amazing. I was just sharing with Brenda, I haven't seen you this happy in maybe years. Just the joy and the laughter and like the house is full of warmth and love, and simultaneously I'm also exhausted, you know, but it's like you can feel
right,
two emotions at the same time. Your heart can hold grief and love, and
right.
yeah, life can be difficult but also amazing.
And there's a lot of energy flying around right now.
Yes,
When
there
you're
sure
doing
is.
this,
Yeah. But.
almost overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, well, life can be overwhelming, and I forget
Yeah.
it's the KNOST, how would you pronounce that? The thing that I've written about, life can be, life is beautiful, life is amazing, life can be difficult, life can be, oh hell, I forget. But
It's a journey.
it's a lady that wrote this, and, come on, Jackie. you
Life
know.
is beautiful, life is messy, life is overwhelming, life is joyful.
Right,
You have your ups, you have your downs,
You're
and
right.
it's about learning how to enjoy just the whole ride.
that's right, enjoy, when everything is running smoothly and normal, whatever that is, enjoy it.
Shit.
Yeah.
Enjoy it while you can, while you're not on that roller coaster of going up and
Because the
down.
Those roller
good
coasters-
times don't last forever, bad times don't
Right.
last forever.
Some of those roller coasters and valleys teach us a lot though.
Mhm.
And when
So
there
we
are
need to go
bad
through those,
times,
need to walk through those.
find the gratitude around it.
Yeah, well, that's,
And be
But it's
grateful
easy to
for
be
those.
distracted, and it's hard to have gratitude all the time.
no, you're
That's
right.
true.
And
Because
even though
especially
That's why I
when, you
said
know,
try.
it's kind of difficult and you're trying to deal with stresses of life and bills and all that, it's really hard to turn that off when you're like struggling, you know, in a sense. but you still, I don't know.
Well,
I'm
we
still
all-
working on
We all know
that
that we should
part.
be grateful, and
Attitude
we
of
remind each
gratitude.
other of that, we
Yeah.
talk about that, but for some reason, you forget about it.
Mhm.
That's why I put that thing by the front door about being grateful, grateful every day. Hopefully you'll see that and go, oh yeah, that's right. Because it doesn't seem to come, no, it's true. What do you laugh?
Oh, that thing. I was trying to figure out what you're talking about, but
You-
I.
The
you
start
probably-
each day
you
with the
probably
grateful
threw-
heart.
you
It's
probably
still
threw
real
some-
life
Oh,
No,
you do?
it's still there.
Oh,
I just,
you sure?
I'll pay more attention to
It's
it.
there.
You'll pay more attention.
Now you'll
I have
see
a
it.
lot, I have a
Yeah.
lot.
He's
so used to seeing it.
Yeah.
Seeing it.
Well, even just running water, you guys, like even if you're just like, oh, I have food today,
Right.
because there are people on this planet
That don't.
right now that don't have access to clean water and food, so it's like sometimes
Gaza. Oh.
sometimes when life is difficult, it's like not to be like, oh, somebody has it worse than me and that should make you feel better, not like that, but just it
There's gotta be
sometimes is
something, yeah.
helpful.
Sometimes we, in our,
Fresh air.
in our culture, we live so much better than other people, even the lowest in our culture.
Right.
Other cultures in other countries are like, they would give anything to have that
That's
little,
bizarre how
that
bad it
little
is
shack
in
for
other
somebody.
countries,
Mhm.
yeah.
People living in RVs and stuff like that, that is something over their head.
Right.
Other
I think
places-
it just means we're more special than them.
Mhm.
Damn it, I can't stop doing that.
Mr. Jokester, we should gift you the dad joke book.
The dead
Mhm.
of-
What about, what's one thing you wish people knew about you? Or is there something about you that maybe you don't, we don't.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know, I'm
Now
pretty
I got away
open.
from that question.
We're
She
gonna
used
find
to-
out the poker.
We will find
I know,
out
she
from one of
used
your
to smuggle
boxes.
coke up from,
Oh, no.
I have a
knew
question
it.
related to that a lot of people may not know, but why did you go with Steve and Richard? What was your, when you went back east?
To Montana.
No, you went to Montana first and then you went on to Tennessee or something.
Is this when she
You
was
didn't say-
18 or
yeah.
a teenager?
Yeah.
Why
you
did
went-
I go
You
with
You went to
them?
Montana, picked up Patty, and then you guys went to, it was some music thing or something.
Well, the goal was to get her,
But you,
because she wanted to run away, so we were
Right.
gonna go get her.
but you didn't come back here. You were on your way to some place, some deal, or some job or something that was gonna happen in like
I think that they
Nashville
were
or
connected,
someplace?
yeah, to some Nashville people.
Okay.
Music, it was a musical thing,
That's
and
what
I
it was.
think this dude was offering us money to like work the something.
Right,
And so it kind of sounded a little glamorous, and,
oh yeah,
at 18.
everybody's gotta go somewhere and do something.
That's right. And, but, I mean, the reason I left is I hated it, here,
Right.
obviously. And then we had a reason to just skip out, go get Patty and grab her and go to Nashville and be around music,
Yeah.
So weird when you're young, you could do that type of thing, and
Right.
it doesn't really
Exactly.
bug you. But when you're older, you're like, oh, I gotta pay the rent, and
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Like-
What I wish I would have been able to do was have gone to Woodstock.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would've been
That's something
amazing.
you probably, none of you know. I literally probably would have
I've watched
tried
the
to come up
I've
with
watched the movie.
$500, yeah, to have gone there. I mean, the way it turned out with all the mud and everything,
Yeah.
it may not have been so cool.
Oh,
Not if you like
would've-
mud.
You would've loved it.
Yeah,
The
you would've
original
loved
was,
it.
was
Mud's a
much
good
better
brand.
than the remake.
Oh, the second one, no.
That was
Forget
horrible.
it, yeah.
There was 3.
There was 3, yeah,
Or
there
whatever.
was,
There were
Yeah.
only the first
I
one was
wouldn't
good.
even watch the third.
There were
Yeah.
only like 40,000 tickets sold to that event, I think,
Oh, yeah, they
originally,
crashed
and
into
then
like-
they
they
because they
crashed
never
people
finished
there.
the fence.
Yeah, they just
crashed
walked
There were like
fence.
360,000 attendees and
That's
didn't
right.
have to pay. It was all just a free concert.
Yep,
We're going in!
yep.
They crashed the fences and the gates and.
And I love this song too.
Oh my God, they had the coolest,
The
you know,
music.
Santana was there, I mean,
Parker,
everybody that was anybody.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Crosby, Stills, Nash.
But you did go to Sats
Yeah,
Up.
never forget them.
We're into what?
Dare you,
Sounds like-
heretics!
Sats Up.
Sats Up, and who put,
I don't
Janis
know who-
Joplin,
I don't know who played, did she? Really? I didn't know. I guess I
Janis
just knew it
Joplin was there,
Jimmy.
Yeah, Hendrix played.
Jimi Hendrix was there,
Cause it was Washington.
and,
Bless you.
the Youngbloods, I believe, who.
Bless you.
Ominous, blessed, whoopeth.
Good.
But you don't like Janis Joplin, do you?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Oh,
You
yeah.
do.
Uh-huh.
Someone didn't, I thought you said you didn't like.
Oh, no, she's.
She's
got
got a
Oh,
scratchy
Stevie Nicks.
voice.
You don't like Stevie Nicks.
Did
No, I
anybody
like
watch
Stevie
it?
Nicks.
You don't like
3 packs
Stevie
of will
Nicks?
do that to you.
No, what I
Like
read
this
this
little girl?
thing where
Oh, she just moved
I
like
think
that.
it was
Crazy.
Woodstock.
So cool.
She was with
I got the chills.
Jimmy and they were drinking
Bro,
and
you
screaming
accept
as
that
loud as they
answer?
can. And that's what she does. She
No.
screams before the
What?
show, drinking Jack Daniels, and it
So it
harshes
makes
out her voice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, we're
But hold on a
reading the
second,
meeting.
yeah.
It's like
I said this
conversation.
bro accept
Order.
the answer. Order.
Order in the court.
Well, yeah, just ask her the question again.
Okay. I'm gonna go. What is one thing you wish people knew about you?
Is he answering it?
No.
Well, or no?
Well, I mean, you kind of touched on it last time, but you want to talk about your gangster days?
Oh.
Thug Life.
That was the first I
She's
heard
the
of it.
OG.
I know. Yeah, we're at the oncology department. She's talking about her thug life, and then what was the other thing she brought up too? Oh, like just being a hottie, a hot commodity.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't bring that up. Somebody did.
Well, why don't you tell your
Karen,
story,
Karen.
your California story moving to here, you know?
Oh, the one about that girl that was throwing the ball at me?
Well, just what you had to do in California, you know, like fights and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I
The
mean.
junior high school that you went to was
The chicks
very
in
rough.
high school had butcher knives in their boots.
Boots and
You know,
razor
yeah.
blades in their hair,
Yeah,
the black girls.
yeah. And
Basically, she had
so
to.
it was like you could went to school every day wondering if you would make it home alive. And so you pretty much kept to yourself, or you fought to make a name for yourself so nobody would mess with you.
And you fought and
And
she
I
kept
fought,
quiet.
and nobody messed with me. And
But
that's-
you also aligned yourself with one of the toughest black chicks in school.
That's right. I befriended one of
Yes.
Smart move.
the
I remember
toughest
that very well.
black girls in
Reigns and
school.
Braun.
Yeah, her name was Belle.
It's like a prison move.
Yeah.
Where in Cali
Exactly.
was that?
It was in
Right,
not
San
Francisco area, but they,
San Diego, which is out
Richmond.
across the bay.
I thought it was
It's a Bay Area.
San Pab,
Somehow.
Do you want me to ask this one?
and Richmond.
Mm.
But that was back when blacks were being bussed from their
Other area.
areas to
White.
integrated to the white schools.
White neighborhoods.
White neighborhoods, and they would come like in full busloads, walk from the drop-off area for probably 8 blocks, 10, 12 blocks.
I thought it was just at the
Seemed
end
like
where
freaking forever.
well, they walked around and past our yard
Right.
a lot, and went up where that snow cone stand, that bus was, and I think
Yeah,
that's
where
when they put
Devin
on San Diego
Curley
Boulevard.
called me out that day and said, let's go out in the field and fight. And I'm
Right.
like, I'm not stupid, you
No.
can all jump me, meet me at my house Friday night, 7 o'clock. I'll kick your ass. I got my ass kicked.
Riot starter.
That was horrible. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, but I see, I learned something new the other night talking about this. I didn't know Mom had the cops on, or ready to call the
Oh,
cops.
she was standing, she had a
And she
long
was
cord, it was a
encouraging it.
desk phone, I didn't know cell phones back in 1968, remember? And she was 66, and so she had the phone outside, and she had her hand on the thing, and she had the receiver up here. You step in my yard, I call the cops. You know, all these teenagers were like,
Well, she was
watching.
saying the fight's happening, if anybody jumps in.
You're done, yeah.
Right.
Nobody else can move.
But in reality, she shouldn't have let that happen.
No.
Especially as my head is being smashed into the concrete. But,
She always said, don't start the fight, but don't walk away.
that's all right. That's the truth.
Wow.
That is the truth.
She was 5'2". She was a pistol.
She
Well,
kicked a lady's ass defending me one time because I got in a fight with some kid, and then the mom came over, and she was pretty tall, taller of course than the mom because she was pretty short.
5'2".
But she was kind of outside. We're outside the door. My mom's right inside the door, looking through the window at her, and she's like kind of yelling at me for fighting with her kid. And she grabs me by the chin because I was looking over here, kind of not looking at her. And she grabs me by the chin and jerks it up. Mom comes busting out and started whooping her ass,
I have never
dragging
seen
and
Mom do
kicking
that.
her all the way to the car.
Today is the
And-
first time I ever heard this.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
but what Mark said told the story at the funeral. But
I had
yeah,
carpal
we were
tunnel,
all
I was on pain meds.
yeah, but.
I mean, I still have double carpal tunnel, you know.
And
it's
my
like,
my
I
jaw
don't
was
remember.
my jaw was to the floor because I was like, holy crap, she was so quick, and just the lady fell down. She's trying to get up. My mom kicks her right in the ass, and she falls again. And then she
Sometimes being
grabs her by the
short
hair
hurts.
Mom
and
was
shoves her to her car
scrappy.
and said, "Get the hell out of here! If I see you again, I'll kill you."
At 5'2" and tiny.
Freaked me out. I'm like,
She-
holy
she
crap!
always said
I better
the
be
bigger they are,
good.
the harder they fall,
Well,
and that's
That's why
Mom's
she
motto.
told me to throw pepper in her face.
And you should listen.
I should have listened.
Yes.
What a different childhood.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
We had
I
old
have a
days.
question.
okay.
Actually, my question is like in 3 parts. First, where you've traveled. So where would you want to go again, and why? And where's somewhere that you've never been and like?
I would want to go back to England,
Mhm.
London for
Mhm.
sure.
What was
And-
so special about there?
Oh,
Everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
Everything but the food.
exactly. Everything but they're horrible cooks.
They put beans. They put beans on eggs for
Beans on
breakfast.
toast.
They're horrible.
Ugh.
Steak and
There's
kidney
no
pie.
spicing to it. But the thing is they have so many different nationalities living there that they have Indian food that's to die for. They have
Greek and
Greek and all
Asian,
sorts of,
Yeah.
you know, like
Italian.
what's his name? That Food Network dude that committed suicide.
Oh, Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain, you know, that was a food haven for him there, you know. But yeah, to eat their food just normal.
Knowing what you know
Boiled
now,
everything.
Would you be looking for your relatives that were back there? Your mother's?
No,
No? You wouldn't want to connect with anybody or?
no. No, not after what happened with, losing Ron so soon.
Right.
It was just too hard. You
Oh, yeah.
put all this energy and effort in. Well, my life had been so stressful, it's like I don't want to meet a new relative, have them die on me, and have to deal with that. So I just thought, whatever. I mean, I kind of have that sort of loving, giving, caring, but I also have a
Protection.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm kind of the same. I didn't look for my parents. Mark did. He found his real parents.
Now we are just with a
The
million as
Nolans,
me.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan is his relative
Wow.
I don't
because he's a
know.
He's
Nolan.
a director.
Christopher Nolan, he made Oppenheimer.
Oh,
And
Oh.
Batman's.
Yeah.
Batman's. The good one.
Is
The
his
good Batman.
what?
Yeah, the good
Is
Batman.
Mark's what?
Relative.
Relative, like a cousin or something.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, he could.
Yeah, he said. He told me.
And where's
He's,
somewhere
he
you could
he
think of?
studied all that guy's genealogy. What is
No.
it? Genealogy.
Ancestry.
Gyneology.
Ancestry. A gynecologist.
Genealogy. Yeah, what am I saying?
Ancestry.
The camera won't hear it.
Can we cut that part out?
No.
Gyneology.
A place that I haven't been that I might want to go is Greece.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Jackie just going there sort of
Yeah.
made me realize that that's probably a pretty cool place.
So oily there, though.
Oh, jeez.
Oily.
Grace.
Greece.
Oh.
Greece.
Well, they use a lot of
Dad
olive
joke.
oil. They use a lot of olive oil there too.
That too.
That's a dad joke.
So greasy. Oh,
No.
The Mediterranean does a lot of olives.
I can't stop.
So you want to hear more stories about that?
What?
There was I'll tell you another, last story on that.
The OG stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we moved here when I was in the 10th grade?
Mhm.
Yeah, 3 months into the 10th grade, so, and at that point, everybody that were teenagers in California wore mini skirts and fishnet knockings.
And nylons.
Yeah,
and
nylons
sixth grade.
And, you know, kind of high-heeled shoes and, you know, probably no bra and all that stuff.
Whores.
Shut up. And so I came up here, and of course the guys are looking and coming over and talking to me. Well, maybe the third day here, I'm in PE, and somebody keeps, you know, I'm in the game to play the game, basketball, and somebody keeps throwing a ball at me and hitting me with the ball. And I'm looking around, and here's this little pipsqueak gal, you know, looking at me like, yeah, I did it. And what the fuck is your problem? And anyway, she did it a few more times. We get into the locker room, and I just went directly to her, grabbed her by the shirt. She was small. Grabbed her by the shirt, threw her up like this, and I don't know what you think you're doing, but you have no idea who I am. I just came from a really, really rough area. I've been in a lot of fights. I've been around people with knives in their boots. You mess with me and I'll kill you. And so she's like, oh, well, my best friend's boyfriend is hitting on you. And I'm like, well, that's his problem and her problem, not my problem.
Yeah, seriously.
You know,
Preach on that.
leave me the
Yeah.
hell alone. We became best friends.
Who was
Didn't
it?
you fight her later though? Or this is different best friend?
Who was that?
Well, I was Debbie McCurley.
Oh, you said up here. Oh, Debbie McCurley you fought.
Wait,
But who is the
Oh,
little
the
girl?
heck was her name?
I remember Patty and
Well, there's Debbie
Bjorkman.
Bjorkman that her and I became good friends.
Right.
And it was Debbie's boyfriend. Okay. And it was Joe Best, who I actually ended up being a little boyfriend, girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
What the
This
heck?
is Port Orchard.
What the heck
Port
was that
Orchard
girl's
in the
name?
60s.
I don't remember.
South Kids out.
I don't remember. Yeah.
All right.
And
ready
there was
for the
Marcy
next
too.
one?
Marcy was another one.
Yeah. Oh, there was a, right.
Marcy.
She was like, shoot, 5'10",
Marcy was tall.
flaming red hair.
Yes.
What do you call it? Same mini skirts and everything.
Right.
So her and I became actually good friends.
It was weird moving here from California.
It was,
You and I-
well, it was very weird.
in sixth grade in California, the same, you know, era, they were wearing nylons and little heels. Moved up here and they were wearing knee-high socks with buckskin.
Oh, well, I called
Cell
them,
shoes.
I called them saddle Oxfords.
They were, but they weren't the black and white.
They were brown.
They were brown,
Yeah,
bucks, right.
yeah. And
That's what I
skirts
call them.
down to here.
Oh, yeah.
They were still,
Mom shows up
I
in mini
felt like,
skirt.
I felt like,
showed
I
them
felt like
fishnets.
Martian at school too.
Platforms.
Felt like
chewing my
Martian.
gum and flipping my thing around.
Miss California.
Yeah. And so, yeah, people were interested, but you know, don't go fighting me over that stuff.
Oh, man.
That's
No.
crazy. I really can't see you doing that, you know, like this or something.
Really?
No, I can't.
Why not?
Could you see me doing it?
Why couldn't you see
Yeah.
me do that? You knew that I'd been in fights and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the fights, but I didn't know you were like just like that outwardly, you know. I
Oh,
knew you and Debbie were
aggressive?
fighting, but yeah.
Yeah, oh no.
But
Well,
the
I
gal
was as outwardly
throwing
aggressive
the
as Mom
basketball
was.
at her.
Really, when
Wow.
it came down to it. And I
Not
heard
me, I
what
was-
I heard what she said, and it was pretty much along those lines. It was, don't start a fight, finish it.
Yeah, don't ever walk away, yes.
Yeah, but finish it, yeah. So,
That's
I feel like
some
she
of
did
that-
ha- I feel like
that's
she had
someone
this
that
talk
was
with me
raised
as a
in
kid
Missouri,
once.
by the way. He's like in Missouri.
I think you had this talk with me as a kid once.
No.
Like,
Probably.
it's never
5
okay to
foot 2.
hit anybody first, but if they
It's vulnerable
hit
in
you,
situations,
you
right?
basically protect yourself,
Yeah.
is how like you put it.
Yeah.
That it's
That's
okay to
that's
protect
mom's
yourself.
lesson.
Yeah. Alright, Mom.
She was a tough farm girl, yeah.
Changing tunes here slightly. Okay, how will you send signs to us from heaven to let us know you're with us?
Music,
Mm-hmm.
number one. And I think you'll get it. You'll each get it. You know, Jackie and I share so much music together, but that's because you're off doing your things with the guys, and Jackie and I are dancing and singing, and we have so much more music. But I know what your music is, so you know that. And or if there's a message in it. If you start hearing Simple Man like 5 times in one day, you know it's me. That's the signs.
5 times in a day?
5 times.
5 times in a day.
Just
About
once.
3.
Three
Yeah,
times.
once.
3 times, yeah.
Yeah.
More than once is
That's a lot.
Or when you hear it even once.
The Leonard Skinner one?
Oh, yeah.
In a
Oh, yeah.
store.
That was my song too.
I got one.
John.
I got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that song.
So, but of course, you know, the usual dragonflies, butterflies, dimes.
Dimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a thing about dimes. Who has any dimes on them right now? Anybody have a dime on them?
I got some change, but I don't know if I have a dime. Yeah, let's see.
I got a bunch of diamonds in my
I just dumped mine.
Dimes?
Oh, we've
Oh,
got,
change
there are
it.
dimes up on.
Yeah, I got a dime.
You have a dime. Okay, well, they're few. You don't need to bring it over here.
She's just like, who's got it
Throw it
for,
out.
for no reason.
No, it tells what
They're few and far.
These are tight pockets.
They're few and far between, but quite often after someone has passed that somebody else loves, you start finding dimes, like on the floor, on their bed, on their dresser. So where the hell did that come from?
And it's only a dime.
It's only a dime,
It's
one
only a
dime.
dime.
Cause silver, maybe.
I don't know, what do you know about the story behind that? Cause I
My
don't,
mom does it to me all the time.
does she?
I have a jar of dimes, and it's only
Oh.
dimes. And I literally find them randomly.
Right,
It's the craziest
in
thing,
weird
but it's
places.
for sure my mom.
yeah. Or you'll be walking through,
It's never a nickel, it's never a
no,
quarter.
or a penny,
It's always a dime.
it's a dime.
It's a dime.
Mhm. Or you'll be walking through Fred Meyer or a
Mhm.
story and
Yeah.
you look down and there's a freaking dime right in front of you.
Yep. 100% is my mom.
Well,
Yep, because
Monique
it happened
has
as
that.
soon as she passed away.
Monique has that with her dad.
Yeah. And what's
Dimes
really
from
funny
heaven.
is I had read a story about a guy that had passed away and he was leaving dimes, and I remember reading that and I was like, when I saw my first dime, I was like, oh my gosh, my mom was like, I'm gonna do that. I could just hear her saying that as I read that
That's
story,
cool.
and sure enough, I'm not kidding, I have a jar of dimes. They literally will sometimes fall out of the laundry. One time there was just one in the middle of the bathroom floor that literally
Weird.
sounded like it dropped while I was in there, and it was in the girls' bathroom. It was the weirdest thing. But I'll be somewhere and it's a dime. Tim called me the other day and he's like, I just found a dime. So it's like, it's a real thing.
And I just put in dimes from, and this has been populated dimes from heaven.
Mhm.
There's a lot of stuff, and even signs from Loved One Farmer's Almanac. I'm not gonna read, right
Right.
now, but I'm gonna read it later. 11 spiritual and biblical meanings of finding dimes. 1, 2, 3 dimes. 1, 2, 3 dimes. So yeah, I did look that up.
You're our official
Music
fact.
and dimes.
You're our official fact checker now.
There we go.
Yeah, no, I there's something that makes me curious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Music
like
like old man bladder.
Alright.
I knew there was gonna be music.
There you go.
I
Right.
saw that.
Swoop.
But also though, the music could be not necessarily what you love, but what I love.
Or
Yeah.
even something,
Or
I
even
just
just a
wanted to
message
say
in it.
something
It has a
that,
message.
a song neither of you have even heard,
Yep.
but it comes on the radio and the lyric is just like perfect to your and mom's relationship or whatever, so, but just like you said, that we'll know.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be making the bed and you'll be telling me what to do.
Yeah.
But there's the butterflies, the dragonflies, the hummingbirds, you know, when you see, okay, my friend Monique, alright, gnats, you know, those pesky little gnats.
Oh gosh.
Well, she had told her, pleaded with her dad, please send me signs. Wintertime, fall. There's a gnat. She works as a medical transcriptionist for Mom. There's always a gnat around her, in her home. And she can't kill it because she's identified it as her dad.
Oh my
But
goodness.
didn't, wasn't his name like that or something?
No.
Was he an annoying person?
No. Well, he's a funny guy. Here's the thing.
So he would show
Oh,
being pesky or
like
you know,
he-
like unusual.
She drove by a flower shop,
Yeah,
Karen.
yeah,
She drove by a flower shop one day,
yeah.
2 weeks after he died, and I guess at this flower shop, every week they'd give a free flower to somebody, a free rose or something,
Right.
and it was something like, this rose is for Monique, or something like that. And I mean, it was just random, but she called me, she's crying, and I said, well, of course, he's a funny guy, you asked him to send you a sign, and he literally sent you a sign.
The sign.
Rose for Monique.
Yeah,
Wow.
And then so she went in and they gave her, you know.
but who the heck would have a gnat? I mean, a fly, you'd kill it,
Uh-huh.
right? But a gnat, you'd smack it away.
Yeah.
But because this, she said, when it first
I don't know
started,
if this counts, but here you go.
Oh.
I
Thank you.
don't know if it first started, when it first started happening with the gnat, but she's like, there's this gnat that keeps flying around me while I'm transcribing, and I don't understand this. And I said, well, just wait, see what it is. Days, this went on for days, and she goes, I think it's my dad, and I said, I think it is too. So she couldn't kill it, and I asked her the other day, has your dad been around? Oh yeah. He followed me to the Dawn's,
She's just got a gnat
whatever this,
following her
Yeah.
around everywhere.
she's a singer, so they were playing Brother Don's Tavern, and it went with her, you know, it'll be in the car. It's just weird.
How odd.
That is so
Isn't that
funny.
odd?
I have never heard of the gnat
Mm-mm.
before.
Well, no, most people wouldn't get a
Yeah.
gnat,
Yeah.
but her dad has a really crazy sense of humor,
Huh.
and so.
Or maybe she just is smelly.
Hey, you stole mine.
Yeah, that was it. Took it out of his brain.
That's
no.
funny.
Yeah, I didn't think of that one, that's a good one.
No, I've been around her for a long time. I think she showers every day.
And that's like
Fruit.
fruit, yeah.
Sweet
Fruit
things.
flies.
Yeah. sweet
Right,
stuff.
fruit flies,
Yeah.
they like,
They're fruit
Just
flies.
too
They
sweet.
love bananas.
Yeah,
they like
Yeah.
potatoes
Oh my
too.
God.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They like potatoes.
And beer, cans.
Yeah.
We have a thing of beer cans that are just all over.
Orange
Yeah.
juice as well.
Yeah,
Or
they-
So-
sweet.
All those people are trying to get high, you know, because
Of the
like it's
sugar.
boring that, you know, in this weird existence, so
Yeah.
The
let's
gnats.
drink.
Yeah.
Can't blame them.
Yeah.
Jeez. I
What
bet
you
they
got,
like
Jack?
ginger.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there an heirloom photo or object that holds deep meaning to you?
Oh, jeez. Well, I don't know. You know me and stuff,
No attachments.
right?
Yeah.
I'm not attached to a lot of things that
What about
are
your writing?
stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, my poetry is important and that stuff. All the pictures of family and friends are important.
Well,
They're all-
your guild bear is important.
my guild bear is important.
Mm-hmm.
There's still, yeah, I mean, there's things like that, but
An heirloom, that's like something that you pass down, right?
right,
Isn't that
I
like?
don't really have much on that one.
Well, I think one of your things that you shared with me was doing the photos for Jackie and John Michael and making sure that they had all their special photos in
Yeah.
their boxes and.
Oh,
Oh,
when
that
I
meant-
wrote the funny things that they
right.
said and everything.
That was the coolest
That-
present you ever
that-
got us.
That was you're right, that's probably one of the coolest things.
Mhm. Cause it had so much heart in it.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah, when they were kids, they'd say funny things. I already said that. Pup, pup.
Kids will say the darndest thing.
Yeah,
Right.
pup, pup, piss off, Lou. I'm trying to think something John said that was super funny.
You're under
He would
arrest.
always say the silliest things.
He
And then
would-
like run off.
He would say the silliest things, and he would mispronounce a number of things.
Piscatty.
Piscatty for sure.
That was Stephanie too.
You know, but
Yeah,
a lot
because
of-
I got it from one of the kids.
a lot of the
that
kids do that though.
I would make
I
fun of
think
them.
it was just fun
Piscatty.
to say.
Hangleburgers, you know.
Hangaburgers.
Yeah, I
Mark
remember that one
Burgers,
too.
Mark them.
Free refrigerator,
Every
was
time-
that
He
John?
Yeah,
would say
there you go.
refrigerator. He'd
Every-
say
So
refrigerator.
Stephanie
up
said
that
shiterator.
elevator,
Shitterator.
Oh,
wasn't
Jackie, you're right. Her sister said shiterator.
Is there Piscatty in the
Well, that's
shitterator,
a
Mom?
new one.
Oh.
And Cassidy called coffee fucky.
Cocky, Grammy. Cocky,
In the
Grammy.
store, just yelling.
And I had took Cameron for his birthday at Burger King one day, and all of a sudden he's going, what did he say? Dump fuck, and he's yelling,
Dump truck.
dump truck. And Mark used to, every time we came around the bay, he would get excited and say, bullshit, bullshit. And it's not like he was saying bullshit, but it was saying
Yeah.
boats and ships, boats and
Yeah.
ships.
Oh.
Kids are, I mean,
Boat ship.
Mhm.
boat
Yeah.
ship. And I remember talking, what Jackie used to call him, a brubber or something like that.
Oh, brother.
Brubber.
That sound
Aw.
feels right.
She
That
loved,
feels
she loved her brother. But you know, looking at the pictures, like in the albums and stuff, you know, sometimes I would think, God, he can be just such a little jerk. But he loved her so much.
Oh yeah.
And was so kind.
Yeah.
And he did let you
Hang out.
play with him and his friends, you know. Well, Jaybird, she was
And you
cool.
wrote me sorry notes sometimes. Slipped it under my door if I was upset.
Oh, it broke my heart.
Oh.
And he was protective.
It just broke my
Yeah.
heart. Because he'd be mean and not, there were reasons for that.
Well,
But-
brothers, big brothers always are. Big sisters. are.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
And that's not to say she wasn't mean. She could probably be.
But I
mean, too.
wasn't.
Mostly.
We'll finish your
But hang
story.
on, let me finish that. She would go to the room crying, slam the door, and lock her door, and you would beg her to come out, she wouldn't come out. You had your head down on the floor
Aw.
where the crack of the bottom of the door was. Please, Jackie, please
Aw,
come
John,
out.
no.
I'm so sorry.
Do you want to build a snowman?
And she just wouldn't. Finally, he'd get up and write her a note and say he was sorry, and then she gave it.
Turns out I'm a words of affirmation girl.
Yeah.
You don't say.
What did you think of, John?
Tell the Tunis story.
Oh god.
Oh God, that's pretty funny. Okay, so we had a little table and chairs, you know, for toddlers, and she was 2, I believe. You were 4, and I just had an idea. You guys know, with babies, you have to keep them busy. You have to, you know, if they get bored with this, you better have something else backing you up to do this so that you're not going crazy. Well, I thought one day, let's play hairdresser. And John's like, yes, and he immediately, because he would take charge. He was in charge. He took over he gathered the clips and the brush, and she was the customer.
Oh, she's the one with the hair.
That's right, she had
Long, long hair
He had hair. But
too. She had long hair.
Well, yeah, hers was like down
Yeah.
hair. And, but anyway, so, you know, so they're having a great time and talking, and he's putting clips all around her hair. And, you know, they took a bit of time doing this, right? And then I was videotaping, and I moved around to her, and I said, Well, hello, little girl. Who are you? My name is Tunis.
I don't know.
Oh, goodness. Hi, Tunis.
Right? We have to look up Tunis now that we know all of these.
There's a place I
Like
believe,
past
isn't there?
lives.
Isn't there?
Yeah,
Is
Like
that
my Egyptian life.
yeah, there you go.
Well, just all the, things that, like that thing you got from Hawaii.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
That man that's,
Totem.
the totem.
Man,
Rewind.
plug ears.
What? The man? Oh,
The clobber.
did I say man?
It's a Hawaiian water god symbol. Or like a wooden carved out
It's right there.
They call them totems.
Oh, that, right.
totems thing. Yeah.
But years ago, she had a vision of a guy that she called, because she didn't.
They got
have-
little ones that
They're not
like that.
to get
That's
attention.
cool.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Man,
Vision of a little guy.
No, she had a vision of a sea, like a sea king that was her protector. Do I have this about right? And she was in the shower and had this vision of this guy. He was protecting her, and she didn't know his name or couldn't think of his name, and so she named him Poseidon.
Yeah.
that's the,
Well, that's-
that is
That is
him.
the Greek.
That's the
Well,
Greek.
that's the
Hang
Greek.
on.
Yeah.
Poseidon. And that was 4 years ago.
Mhm.
Whenever you were at the
Cherry Street House.
place, and anyway, it was when she went to Hawaii and got that. You listen to this, John. Pay attention. You guys can cuddle up all later.
We're talking about Tunis. I still think it's
Oh, Tunis, I can
Yeah.
respect you. I use Tunis. John even
I
cracked
think it
up.
was even I name. My name is Tunis.
I knew. I thought it was I use Tunis.
And we have this video.
Yeah, this is-
the
this
other
is
thing.
video,
We've
yeah.
got to bust out the videos.
I
Oh my
use
goodness.
Tunis.
Yes.
So, this totem thing that she picked up, and there was a weird story about that. The dude that sold it to her, they got to talking, and who is this?
I have to. It's a Hawaiian name that I can't remember.
Well, I know, you don't have to tell the name, but basically.
Describe who the
he is-
character is.
He is
But
the-
it's a
protector.
Hawaiian water god, basically,
Right.
and he's a protector. It's for courage, strength, and I just went and looked up the image of it because they gave me the name of the Hawaiian god, and so I looked it up, and it was like the image, the vision that I had
That came
seen
to
of
her.
the guy
Not
or
cool?
whatever.
You're a Poseidon?
By Poseidon, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, so
That's kinda cool.
I love mythology.
Okay.
okay, yeah.
What's your favorite memory from Arizona and then here? So think about that.
When I was down there.
Well, we had a lot of fun, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun dancing
Your
and
hips swing.
Yeah.
Dude, you
Yeah.
were dropping it like it was hot.
I can get into it.
Can you still do that?
No, I'll bet you can.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
can.
it's been a little
Circle.
while.
We
I
got
mean,
the center of the
when you're a
circle right
musician,
here.
you have the rhythm all the time. So I mean, just put on the
You think
beats
you can
and
do it?
Dun dun dun.
You can drop it
I
like
can't.
those
I
do
can't.
that.
I can't do it, but if you have
I'll play guitar before I start dancing for y'all.
Yeah. If you
Yeah, we
have,
can play music after this if we want.
if you have bad knees, though, you probably
Maybe
couldn't
not.
do it.
Right.
Pretty well. It wasn't like I was breakdancing or anything.
Well, true,
Yeah, but now
but
you
it's
might
hard to
break
go
something
down
with
like
your
that.
Now I'm really curious, so I want to see.
Oh boy.
It made me sound like I was. What is that called when you're?
Twerking.
Twerking.
Twerking it up.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
It's not twerking.
No.
Well, maybe a little bit, but.
So,
Who's
So
your
favorite memories
so
from
who knows to
Arizona.
drop, who can do drop a
Oh,
line?
we're the.
Okay.
This is.
What your
We're
favorite
getting
memory?
sidetracked.
Yes.
My
What's
My
your
favorite memory in Arizona,
Or one of them.
holy cow, there were a lot.
Or a funny story from Arizona or memory or, you know.
Well, I loved partying with you guys, especially when Amy was around, because Amy was like a stand-up comedian to begin with.
I met her, didn't I?
Yes.
You had- yeah.
You
So,
might have.
Yeah.
She was
I
like,
remember.
beautiful, funny.
Oh,
could
very,
sing
yeah,
and,
outgoing, yeah.
Very outgoing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would always say a bad influence on her, but I would say everybody was a bad influence on her, when in fact, she was the bad influence on everybody.
Yeah.
She laughs and smiles.
I just found partners in crime, that's
Yeah,
all.
that's-
I just found like equal, you know.
Yeah, it was equal.
I remember I got you to sing at that bar
You
thing.
did,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
true.
cool.
It was really unprofessional, but I was like just goofing around, and we sung
For
Led
non-bonds.
Zeppelin. What was that? Well, we sung a couple, but it was the
For non-bonds.
The What's Up.
and the four. Yeah, What's Up and Four Non
And then I
Blondes
think
is
we
what
did a
you
Pink
sing.
song also.
Yeah. So he did Led Zeppelin.
He
What was
actually
that?
got her to sing
Oh,
at
we
the
did do a
bar.
Led Zeppelin.
I forgot about that.
Oh,
I
dang.
think what it was. That acoustic one. The Lord of the Rings one.
I can't think of the name.
Mind block. Can't think of it. But,
It'll come to
yeah.
when you're not.
Fact check.
Yeah.
Yeah, fact check.
Yeah, I'll try to
Fact check.
think about that, I mean, as far as,
So like dancing with Amy and
Yeah,
just hanging
I
out.
mean, you
Or like a
remember
funny
the-
like Travis story or something, you know?
yeah, like I was just flashing on the pictures, like of you in the kitchen, you, Amy, I think her boyfriend at the time, Travis,
Mhm.
being there. Travis is a, what do you call it, medevac pilot, but they worked at the airport together.
Mhm.
They met at the airport, and Travis was a goofball. Oh my gosh, he was a goofball. Very sheltered life. But him and John and this other guy would go like to Tempe, Arizona. That's a big college party strip,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And these three guys he's shy as hell. And and those other two guys, well, I think Travis was pretty shy, wasn't he?
Mhm.
Or was he just a goofball?
Both, you know, yeah.
And then, what's the other guy's name?
Brandon.
Brandon. He was more
Mhm.
outgoing, right?
Yeah.
Kind of pushy.
Yeah, Brandon was kind of more like an Ash.
Mhm.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say an ass.
No,
Also that. Yeah.
Yeah, all those times were fun.
Was that the house
Remember-
on Hearn or the other one?
Hearn, yeah.
On Hearn? Oh, yeah.
I love that house.
I did too. That was so
And
cool.
Hercules.
Yes, Hercules. When you
I
said
love-
when you said Arizona, that's the
Hercules is
first.
like, Arizona is not without Hercules, you know,
Yeah,
that,
he was so
that
cool.
dog, he loved people.
Yes.
If she weren't sitting here and somebody here was a stranger that came into the house first, he would greet you like, oh, he was a Doberman that didn't have his ears clipped or his tail. Sweetest dog on the planet.
All gray.
All gray. If you sat down, like right here, he would jump up here and go like this and look at you in the face, just like that. Like, hi, I
Well,
want to
he
get
would
to
sit
know.
on the couch. So he would sit on the
Yeah,
couch.
he would
That's
prop
what
his
I
hip
remember.
up.
He would put
and
his butt
his
right there
feet
next
would
to
be
it.
on the floor, and his butt would just be sitting around the couch.
Yeah, he would like actually sit. Yeah,
Yes.
his feet would be here and just like one hip. He'd be
Oh
like,
my god.
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
He was so
He was
cool.
so cool. Yes.
But he had a sudden death. He was only 5, I think, when he died.
Yeah.
And we did not know this, but Dobermans, so don't anybody ever get a Doberman. Their chest wall is so narrow that they have heart problems. They don't have enough room in their chest wall to, I don't wanna say carry their heart, but to safely, have room for their heart. And quite often they die young because of that.
He had a rot.
I didn't know that.
I found him when I came home from work.
That
It was awful. And I immediately thanked God, it was still before 6 o'clock. I called a company that would please come and get him before my daughter gets home. They did, man, they got in their vehicle and zoomed over and then him, he did not take that well either. He was in, we were in South Carolina. just in disbelief. It's like Hercules, you know, such a good dog. Yeah, that was cool.
That was a shocker.
That was a shocker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you did ask about the best times, but you can't think of Arizona without Hercules.
Well, that is the best
Oh,
one.
he just said any
He
moment
was the best,
stood
yeah.
out.
Oh yeah, you were.
And
I
then,
miss
and
it.
then he asked also
Yeah.
for here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about here?
Best times here?
Yeah, favorite
When I
memories.
fell into the bathtub with my pants down.
Well, how about before that?
No.
That night was fun.
That night was fun. Well, no, it's a funny ass story.
It is. But you were
It's
rocking out.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I might as well tell it, right?
Yes, you
You
might
have
as
to.
well.
Now I have to. You wanted me to tell that, right?
But that was the night that Tim played.
Her husband played.
Oh, I thought you were
came to
talking about
town.
there was a similar incident in Seebeck
But this
with
was
the girls.
here.
Okay,
Oh, well, true.
But-
Since I've been here, because I lived with.
it was like a laundry room.
Seaback. Oh yeah, the back door. I was so drunk, and I'm not a drinker. I tripped going in, hit my chest right here on a wooden thing.
Where is this?
At
You?
Seaback, yeah, I need an MD. Well, MD and I went to a party at one of them.
The Maloney's.
No, it was a wedding down at one of those mansions, and then they started breaking out that dangerous wine, Sheridan, and I mean it is dangerous. They're big wine drinkers, and they'll tell you it's dangerous. They didn't warn me and tell me it was dangerous. Well, MD's falling all over the cars as Anita's trying to get us home, and Anita gets MD in first, and I come in, I don't know, 30 seconds later, I trip, hit that, what do you call it, bookcase kind of thing. It was like just the corner of it right there. Boom, down I go, and Anita's standing in, she must have heard me go down. She's standing in the doorway outside of the laundry room, and she's just like, shaking her head, and I'm like, she goes, do you need help getting up? I don't know. But then I get up thinking, I have to go to the bathroom, so I start heading to the bathroom, and MD's gonna kill me for this. She's hugging the toilet, stark naked.
Oh, goodness.
This was a common thing.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh.
Is that before or after she did the song?
I'm telling you, I had a lot of fun there.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not a big drinker.
No, you're not. You're like a 2 glass,
I'm
3
two-
glass max.
I'm a 2
Well,
glass.
she's had, you used to be able to put more than that away.
Not
when
too
you were
much.
young.
Not too much.
Sipping on scotch, drinking wine. We drank a few bottles of wine.
What?
We drank a whole bottle of Grand Marnier one night.
No.
Yes, we did.
Grand
And then,
Marnier? No.
yes, we did. And then it was my house in Redmond, the up in the hill, Ed Hill. And then you and Ken and my girls, we went to Point Defiance Park, and then we went to Sophie's.
Oh, so Ken was drinking it also?
I don't think he
Grand
was there
Marnier?
yet. I don't think he was there yet. It was you and I.
See, I always remember growing up, you guys had boxed wine.
Oh,
I remember with
Wine
box wine.
spritzers.
Box
too.
wine
Those
spritzers,
two.
yeah.
I remember
Yeah,
Well,
with
now
there's
that
a
we've
lot of
become-
boxed wine.
Now that we've become wine snobs, you don't tell that to me.
There was a lot of boxed wine, it seems
Yeah.
like, in all the holidays.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's
That was
true,
a
but
my-
everybody,
my-
because there were so many people,
Yeah.
Right.
to give wine to.
That
Do you
was
remember
my
putting
only
wine in
experience
like
with boxed wine.
water bottles before you got on the ferry?
Oh,
Do you remember? Like every time she would come over, you went on the ferry. We'd pick you up in Seattle, and you would have like a bottle of some
You
sort.
would?
Yeah, and it
Me?
was there was white wine in it.
That is
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
I hate white wine.
I know that. But
We
you
did back
drank it
then.
because
We
it
used to
was
drink some tea.
camouflage.
Yes, you did.
You just had to have a little drink before you got on a ferry
This
to
is something
settle your
new.
nerves.
Oh.
That was years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
When you were
I was
very
ill.
young.
Well,
Yeah.
my PTSD is
Yeah.
worse. Okay.
It was.
I have
But
a
how did you-
question. You brought up Dad. How did you and Dad meet? You told me
Theo.
this.
Oh, right.
You told me this, but I forget.
The theater.
Okay.
Well, I went to a play. Ed and Patty, Ed Russell, and then Patty, who was my best friend. They were together, and Ken and Ed Russell were in a play together. They went to college in Bremerton, community college at the time. And they were in a play together, and there was a play party after, which all plays have play parties. And anyway, he just, I don't know, we just struck up a conversation and things took off.
Okay, I was gonna say who hit on who first, but you guys just started talking.
No, he hit on me first, I think.
Dad made the move.
I think he did.
And that's
No, I
when
don't
his hair
remember.
was like clear down his back.
Oh, he had
Okay.
super long hair.
Super long hair.
Yeah.
And then when he went to, when he would work at the tavern, is
He
it the
put a
Rob's?
wig on.
He put a wig on.
What?
Stop!
Oh,
Your
yes.
dad wouldn't.
I
let
did
him-
not know
Your
that.
dad wouldn't let him work there with his hair
Hippie.
so long.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
See what
gosh.
you learn in things like this?
And his hair, yeah, he had lots of long
His
Oh,
hair.
because he wouldn't cut his hair. That is
His
so
hair was
funny.
probably down to
And it was
here.
really pretty because it was curly.
And your dad said, you can work here, but you have to cut your hair. And I think Kim said, yeah, okay, but you know what, he snuck that wig is what he did. He
That
told
is
your dad
so
he cut
funny.
his hair, but he bought a wig.
Funny.
Smart.
Oh my gosh.
That's
when I
hilarious.
was at Scotty's.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was only in there one time. My mom got me into the back door and I was in the back office.
Yeah, that's funny.
When I was little.
Yeah. How old were you about then? About 10, 8?
But I was younger than that.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we lived on, by Grandma's, in
Right.
that little white house.
Elizabeth? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a toddler. Because I got divorced when I was 3 and we lived there. And
Oh,
the
I did not know that
the
was
tavern
that
was,
young.
he had the tavern then.
I didn't know you were that young then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was 3
Huh.
when they got
Wow.
divorced.
How old were you when you met Dad?
When I met him,
Hmm.
19, I think,
And how long till you guys got married?
4 years.
Okay.
No, I was 22, was that right?
You got married in 74.
You guys waited a long time to have kids.
74.
You were 22.
Yeah.
We did wait a long time to have kids because I didn't want to bring kids into this world. I did not want kids. I had good reason to not want to bring them into the world, but Ken wanted to carry on the name and he wanted children. And so I caved in.
Mhm.
Best
Funny.
decision ever.
Oh, wait, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, I say thank you.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
me too.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't
absolutely.
regret that for a minute.
Shocked they
Well, I
had kind
can
of me.
talk me into that. Yeah, Jackie a number of times has said, how did you do this with, with their baby around? How did you do this with 2? One
And then
is
people do it with
hard enough.
4 and
How do
6,
people do
3,
this with
3,
2
3.
kids?
22 months.
And see, before you two came around, I was the favorite.
Ah,
I had to come stay at your house in
Yeah.
Bellingham, remember that?
I do
It was
remember that.
so fun.
Oh.
And do you remember making egg sandwiches? And you put onion powder on them, and I was like, that was the best
Yes.
egg sandwich in the whole wide world.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I vaguely
To put
remember
onion
Bellingham,
powder.
it was
Oh
cool
my
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a
Bellingham was
cool lake by the
Yeah.
place, we went to the lake there.
Mhm.
Vaguely
I
remember
went-
that place, so.
I went and found the place that they lived in and got married.
In Fern.
That's
And
really
Ferndale-
cool.
I have a
Fergus.
picture of that
Yeah.
on my Freemio.
Yeah.
With Mom and Debbie and I, because I was her maid of honor, and there's a picture.
Yeah,
Well, I
it's
saw all
still
the
there.
wedding
It's been
pictures.
remodeled, but it's still there.
That's so
It's
cool.
Oh.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Both of you guys look good.
Ferndale.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken was handsome back in the day.
And he wore
I was talking about you.
purple velvet
Oh.
jacket.
Yeah, you did.
But Ken
Right
was
down.
too, but I was talking about you ladies.
Karen, yeah, Karen was hot, yeah.
That's from National Red.
know.
My hair was really red
I
then.
know, she had natural red hair, that's the truth. And you were there,
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
I
you were
vaguely
there.
remember.
You guys were
and I
like 8 or
think you're
10
in the
years older than
pictures
me.
too. Some pictures.
Yeah,
I didn't
I've
see
seen
those,
the
I
pictures,
would
a couple
really love
of
to
them.
see those
They're in the
and
picture.
Joy,
Mhm.
when you got her the flowers.
Yeah, we
Should
brought
each
out
have
all
one flower? Yeah.
Well, it cracked me up because Karen was, we were so unofficial with this whole thing.
It was just very
And
casual.
Karen was gonna be my maid,
Made in, was it man?
whatever.
Yes.
And Ken had a best man, and I think it was Ray Smith, I don't know.
Yes, it was right.
And
I'm pretty sure.
you need to take it.
No.
John, or not John, Joy had like a mental episode probably 2 years prior to this. And, you know, she was doing good and stuff, but she demanded to be a
A bridesmaid.
bridesmaid
Oh.
in the wedding party.
Not
She would.
surprising.
So,
Enjoy.
so we had to find another groom person
And a flower.
Oh.
and a flower.
And so we ended up cutting a flower from a rose bush, cause it was all roses, then you found a ribbon to
Said
tie
she
around.
flashed. Somebody-
Was it the day of that she
Yeah.
insisted?
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
she insisted on being a, what did you just say?
A bridesmaid.
Bridesmaid.
A bridesmaid.
You know, not to interrupt this, we need to go do this with Aunt Joy.
Aunt Joy, agreed.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna say
Oh,
all-
yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, she'll have some
Oh,
stories.
she'll
Oh,
have,
no
she
doubt.
always has some
Yeah.
She'll
stuff.
tell you about the great white shark out here that, you know, almost took their boat and that's why they were late.
Right.
There are no sharks in these waters.
Great white.
It's too
No.
She'll
cold.
swear.
Not
Not great whites, no,
Yeah.
but there is sand sharks and stuff.
But
in
to
the
this
little
day, it's
islands
she'll swear up and down it's a great white. It was a great
It was
white.
Jaws.
It was Joy.
Jaws, right?
Jaws.
Anyway.
It was probably an orca and she just didn't.
Right.
There's
know the
always a new
difference.
story.
Mm.
There's
What?
always.
Oh, there's always a story, yeah.
There's always a new one.
Yeah. Was there anything else? I forget.
No, just keep going with what you're talking
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Where are we
Okay.
at?
Yeah, we were just talking about the wedding, but yeah. It's just,
Oh, the wedding, yeah.
And beautiful.
Oh, is there
That was
anything
cool.
that stood out, or what was your favorite part of the wedding, or is there anything that stood out to you about the wedding?
Oh, I blanked out.
Okay.
I'd say her cake.
Her
You
cake.
what?
The cake.
Oh,
Cake or cake?
I ordered a black and white cake.
Oh,
It was
Like
it
a
was
tuxedo.
yeah.
black, but it
I
looked
wanted
like
to
lace
look
on it.
like,
It looked like dark, and then you had a costume that looked like lace.
yeah.
Yeah, but it was a black cake.
And my wedding dress was all lace.
Yes.
Do you still have that?
It was like the Gadsby era.
She
The
had it
hat.
for a long time.
I know. I remember seeing it when I was a kid.
You know?
That's the reason why I have mine up, because of her.
Yeah, you had it on
A manicure.
Yeah. dress
Boss.
on, a
So
form.
that's another thing I don't know. But you know what? Today, John, Anita said, because I said something about the baby books and
Because she's
and,
got stuff.
and
some stuff
something,
along.
some other writing of mine, that I'm just like, I just don't know where it is. She goes, I wonder if it's out in the shed at Joy's.
Mhm.
And I said, you know, it probably is. And I've been saying to John, would you get together with Anita and get those bins
Mhm.
up here? And she goes, yeah, we need to do that.
So
she's-
basically,
there
next
is
time
stuff.
we
she
next
is
time we go
willing
there,
and ready
we'll
to
need
do
to.
it.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
she make a trip.
Yeah.
She's willing and ready to do it. And whoever broke that door or whatever, she said it just needs a strong
we'll
guy
get
that can pull it
Yeah.
shut.
Not an issue.
But she said, I remember seeing some pictures in one of those
Bins.
bins.
Okay.
So
Probably
it's,
not heat to shed either.
no,
Mm.
but it's, who knows what's in there.
Yeah.
I left probably 7 bins there, and in my brain I'm thinking, I don't think that it was too important of some, but, I mean, their baby books could be in, you know, where you
Mm-hmm.
keep track of their first tooth and their
Right.
first
Yeah.
this and their first that.
Yeah, you'll wanna get that.
Yeah.
Like she said.
All right.
Oh,
You ready
your
for the
dress
next
could be there.
question?
Yeah, does anybody need a cherry tie break or?
Well, we could just do
Well,
maybe
sounds like
one
everyone's
more
looking at
question
cherry
and
pie.
then just kind of wrap it up, or if people can share a favorite memory with mom or something
Yeah,
before
okay, let's do that.
but the last one, is there something that you wish you could say to someone, even if they're not here? Is there anything that like feels left unsaid?
I don't know, I'm pretty open about stuff.
Yeah,
I
that doesn't
pretty
have
much
to be.
say what's on my mind.
Okay,
It's all been said.
one more. If your heart could speak directly to you right now, what would it say?
I love you.
Oh, we love you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Well, I love all of you, yeah.
But that you love yourself.
That I love
Yourself.
myself.
I know it's
And everybody should love themselves.
That's true.
First and foremost. Yeah. 'Cause oh, well, now wait a minute. Everybody else is gonna say something about themselves and then we'll stop it.
Well, no, yeah,
What
I'm
do you
just
mean?
saying.
Oh, right. you
We
can
don't
say-
need this
right.
for people, for
Yeah,
everybody
this
else
is
to
what's
share.
recording.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
So,
Not
yeah,
this.
just open. If anybody has any favorite memories with the Flong Flong.
Or anybody in the room, or
Yeah.
anything of life, any words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be. You know, for real.
I would say, don't have any regrets. You
That's
know,
right.
tell the people you love them before they're gone.
Yeah.
Because you never know when someone's gonna be gone, so don't have any regrets.
Well, right, like this just coming out of the blue, I mean, even though we knew, I had a terminal illness, it's
Yeah.
like, you have 2 days to a couple of weeks to live. It's like, what are you talking about? That was very shocking.
Yeah.
And what about you, Jackie? Oh wait, what was the question?
Well, no, we're
It's
just,
not
it's just an
pleasant.
open share.
You just said wisdoms or
Words
I
of-
mean, I would just
Words
say,
of wisdom or memories of or thoughts of or yeah. Is that right? Is that what we were
Yeah.
talking about?
I would just say, you know, obviously, I've got my guys, you know, Brandon and Oliver now, but, them aside, you have been the greatest love of my life.
Oh, thank you. Ditto. And that guy right there. Yeah,
That's all.
yeah. I love that. The greatest love of my life. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? You know, that's like,
Just not every daughter gets, like, a special mom,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky.
I love you so much.
I do.
Yeah, when you think greatest love of my life, you think of,
I know, everybody
Partners.
thinks romantic, but
Yeah.
it's just like,
yeah,
yeah,
big love.
big love.
big love.
Mm-hmm.
Big love. Elephant size love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so sweet. My sweet girl.
Okay, someone else.
My wild, my
Yeah,
wild,
you're gonna get me started, so I'm
my wild
just say the
child.
final.
Oh, he's gonna sit there and not say a word. My wild child.
Well, I mean, on that, like, you've always been there for whatever, like, guidance, or you've just always been, you know,
To everybody.
to everybody, yeah, you've always just had the answers to, like, any question.
Yeah.
Right, like life, all of life,
Yeah.
right?
She has Akashic Records.
Yeah.
Hey, what?
Akashic Records.
Gosh, I heard.
It's like a Hindu thing. It's like a storage of all the knowledge of the universe. And they call it the Akashic Records, and you could like access it. You know, kind of
I'd
like
say that's pretty true.
Yeah.
It's just stuff I read in
Huh,
books.
I
that's
mean, I feel like a problem with, coming to you with a problem with, for anything, you
That's
know, you
true.
might not have any knowledge of the topic, but
I know,
for
it's
whatever
like,
reason,
where the
you
hell
know
does
how
it
to,
come
like,
from?
But it's,
guide
Yeah, that's what I
everybody.
mean. It's like you can tap
It's
into
the
the
inner
Akashic
knowing.
Record and just like help everyone
Yeah.
with their problem because you just know what to say every time.
I know, it's kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my thing's kind of on the same note because I just remember like before we even really knew each other. You remember that day that I just like showed up at your house? I don't even remember why I was there,
I don't either.
but I was like maybe driving the taxi around or something, and I was just like, I need a hug. And he just like gave me a big giant hug.
We were on
And I was just
Before
having
he
the
and
worst
I ever
day.
got together, I
It
don't
was
even.
like years before we started dating, like
Right.
years and years. But we were friends,
Yeah.
and I knew that you were her mom.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you weren't even outside. I think I knocked on your door, and you were just like, "Of course I'll give you a hug." And I just like came
Yeah.
outside, and we hung out on the porch for a while.
I think your
Because she has that big energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Yeah.
your legacy is what you've left with everybody that you've come in contact with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it, John. I love you so much.
Yeah.
You're my best guy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're my favorite son. You're my second.
I'll take second. That's all right.
By default.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw that in
Yeah.
there. But you're like a son to me also.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though the
Both you guys
Even though that-
raised me
dates, yeah.
quite a bit because Mom and Bob were
So
busy with stuff.
dysfunctional.
I remember Gorst is like, because you lived with us in Gorst for a while.
For
sure.
right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Till
I
I
vaguely
turned
remember,
18.
and I definitely remember Miss Drowndy here.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't go in the creek again, did you?
No, I did not go into the
No.
creek for frogs anymore. I think I switched to snakes. The snakes
Yeah.
were in the grass. I didn't have, they weren't going in the water.
There's a creek right behind it in Gorst. We lived in Gorst, and my parents had a restaurant.
I love you,
right?
John.
And right behind it, there was a house, and
And I'm
behind the house is
I'll
a creek.
still always be here for you.
And
You just call me.
I was responsible for watching this old
You're
church,
just like beep beep.
in both of them. But he would go out there, sneak out when he's supposed to be napping, and I'd be watching soap operas for 14 years. And he would go out and get in the creek, and I would get in trouble for it.
How old was I? Like,
4, 5, maybe almost 5, because you started school there.
yeah, I remember that nightmare.
And I got so mad at him. I took him out there and I said, "Yeah, you're getting me in trouble." And I said, "You want to get in the creek?" And I pushed him down there.
No, you stripped me down to my undies
Well,
first.
yeah, when you get your clothes all wet. But it's like, okay, you're baptized now. A couple times.
Yeah.
You gonna go in the creek again? No. I was like, what?
I was confused and like, why is
13.
she doing this? But yeah, then you said don't get
13
in
or
the creek.
14.
Then you made me stand outside the door for a while.
Was it cold?
Said, think about going in the
Oh,
creek
did you
again.
say
We're
what
gonna
the
do
hell?
that again or something like that.
The girls? Oh, this is sad.
No.
One time I threw a frog. Dad,
We're all like bawling and you're just like
Dad is making
talking about
pancakes.
drowning in the lake or something.
Dad was making pancakes and I threw a frog through the window and it landed right in the batter.
Oh, thank God. I'm so
Yeah,
glad
he
you
was
did
so
that
mad
to
at
him.
me.
At the restaurant, he cooked at the restaurant, and
Yeah,
not just
we had the
pancakes for
restaurant.
dinner, breakfast. It was a.
Oh my
Wait,
gosh, I don't know I can ever eat a pancake again.
Sorry for ruining pancakes for you.
No more pancakes
Did
at
you get the
restaurants.
hell beat out of you?
No, I don't. You remember getting hit a lot, but well, once in a while we get the spanking when I was older. But when I was young, I don't remember that other than the attempted drowning, and having to
No, he
stand
hit
in the
me
corner,
instead.
stand in the corner and stuff. I don't remember a lot of
I
that.
know.
But he was yelling at me, like you know, in that tone.
Yeah.
Me and Mark were doing some work for his mother-in-law, and we were talking about how, you know, you try to work with Dad, and he'd want us to help him with a car or something.
Oh.
Like, give me the wrench, and he's
Oh,
all
yeah, you
grouchy
don't
and
wanna
stuff.
be that
And he's
close
all
to
just screaming and yelling at us and stuff, so we'd scared, and we didn't like doing it.
Right.
And so we started imitating him. We're like, go get me. So we're doing that to each other, and his mother-in-law was like, "What the hell are they doing out there?"
Oh, Mark,
And
Mark's
she's talking to
mother-in-law.
Risa, and she goes, "Are they all right? It sounds like they're fighting and stuff." She's like, "No, they're
That's
just
his
making
sister.
fun of their dad."
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Oh, and he was scary though. He would be working on
course he was
something,
scary.
and if it didn't, the screw didn't go in right, or something didn't work,
Oh
he
yeah,
would.
you don't want to be
freaking
around,
cry.
The language
Stuff's
that came out of that
flying.
man.
including language.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
He was pretty evil.
he was.
I mean, there's so much about him that just.
Yeah, that's what made it weird, you know, taking care of him, and you know, because
Yeah, I
Mom
don't
made me
know how you
promise.
did it. I don't know how you did it.
Yeah, but I promised her, but I didn't know that the promise, I didn't have to fulfill the promise, because I figured, you know, he's gonna, like,
Just
what
die.
happened to Mom, have to go into the
Right.
nursing home or something,
So he died, yeah.
and So I'm like, oh, thanks, Mom. But yeah, it was quite an experience, and I think I helped him at the end with the whole Samadhi
Oh,
thing.
okay, so we talked to Mark, tell him he'll give me $1 and Debbie $1.
Okay, let's go.
You want some pie, don't you?
No,
Okay.
we're not finished here. Jackie, John, are you in any condition to talk?
About?
Well, we were all talking about,
Just
you know,
sharing.
Just
like
share.
if you
Does
have
anybody
any
else?
words of wisdom or anything.
Well, I'll say one thing just while, you know,
You're
if
thinking.
you want a minute or whatever.
Just beautiful.
You are very so beautiful. That's true. Inside and out. Anyway, I don't know why I just wanted to say that Mom and Brandon met separate from me.
Right, that's a good
So you met him first, I think.
point. Yeah.
No.
Or just separate. I don't know that it was first. But because he was driving taxi for a while, and so she got a taxi ride. And I remember her telling me after the ride, she's like, she calls me up because we talk every day, you know, just about everything. And she's like, I had this really good looking taxi driver pick me up. He's like, you know, he's got a beard, and he's like, I think he's doing something with this tree stuff. Anyway, she would like kept bringing him up. And then there was another thing. Anyway, so it's just ironic that like she kept trying to like get
Set
me to
you up.
want to
Well,
meet this guy.
Also.
And then also
Yeah.
exactly
Right, I even was there when,
said
Karen
yeah.
was there.
I was
right?
there when,
Yes.
I was sitting there when you
When
came in.
Sam brought
And you
you
came
around
in
the
and we were
corner.
talking about, yeah,
Yeah.
and then after
I remember
that.
Pauline was there. So
Well, do you want to tell that? Go ahead and tell that story. So it's on the camera there.
Oh, right. So, Karen and I were, there's another nurse there named Samantha, Sam, and those two are tight friends, Megan and Sam, and she was ending a relationship, I think, he was ending a relationship, I forget what was
Yep.
going on.
he wasn't out of his relationship.
Not quite.
but
I said ending, they were.
Yeah.
But
they were.
it was over, it just wasn't quite over yet.
They
It
just
was
didn't know it.
officially
We
over.
knew
We
it.
knew it.
Yeah, we did.
All the girls say it was
We
done.
knew it.
Yeah.
Has to occur, but anyway,
We're patient.
anyway, Karen and I are talking, and I said, John just needs a nurse. He needs a kind, compassionate person, and he needs a nurse. And all of a sudden, Sam goes, "I'll be right back."
Yep,
She was doing a PICC line change or something, and she's gone maybe 3 minutes, and I have my curtain shut. All of a sudden, she pushes it back, and she's got her arm hooked up with Megan's arm, and she goes, "Here she is."
I remember that, and I came through the curtain being like, "What are you?"
what are you talking
Not
about?
knowing,
Here she is.
right.
She was
Where are we
clueless.
going?
Yep.
She was clueless. She didn't know anything. But yeah, Sam is like, "Here she is," and then, you know, I don't even know. Oh, then I
Was John
later-
there?
And then
No.
she started
You
scheming.
guys
Yeah.
were, just started
Yeah.
talking, you know, a little bit about, you guys were conversing about, you know.
Yeah.
And Mom would bring John up, you know, to
Then
whatever,
after
and like
that-
pull me.
She
yeah.
would. She was always bragging about John.
I 100% remember hearing about the scheming day.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
was like, oh, good Jesus, you
Mom's
guys.
like, she's
laid out
she's
so
got
perfectly,
projects at
I
her
think.
house, and you know, John's really handy. So she's like, can I just volunteer him, or you know, like 100% that happened.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh yeah.
I guess I don't know the behind the scenes on that. story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now you
Now
do.
you
Wait,
do.
no, that's it.
That's some of it. Well, that's not even some of it.
well, we wanted
just
him in a different
mostly-
direction.
Did you even talk to him about it? You were,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
just left
yeah.
him out of it.
Oh,
You're like,
Well, so then,
Once
By
you-
the way.
once you, the more he came up, I mean, he was coming up from the beginning with me quite often. After he met you, he stopped going with me, by the way. But anyway,
Shy.
I know. But anyway, I started telling him, John, there's a nurse and her name is Megan. I took a picture
of the wall.
Oh, I
photo.
thought you doing that.
She's so
Busted.
busted.
Well, actually, I don't remember if I saw you or somebody, or maybe Sam saw you snapping a picture of my picture on the wall and like giggling with somebody. I don't know if it was like you or you.
Yeah.
It might have been me.
It
It was me. I was the one that was with you that day. Yeah,
Took
we
your picture?
stopped because
It
the
might
pictures
have
are on the way out
Yes.
the door, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, hold on, I gotta do something. And I was like, okay, cool.
Because
You're
she
like,
had to show me,
snap.
you know, a
Well,
picture of you.
yeah, and I think the lead up to that was she had been talking about you, and then I was like, you know, well, oh yeah, you know,
Right.
what does she look like, or whatever. And then
Right.
Oh yeah, I got the picture.
Yeah.
As well.
She got a picture text,
Mhm.
and then I had to delete it because I didn't, you know, God, what if she comes over? What if she comes over and sees it on my phone?
She had stalker.
I know, now we know you.
Yeah.
Like,
When I went with her, I think you guys already went out, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so schmitten.
yeah. Oh,
And
the
the
first,
They
yeah.
were
I
both
missed that last part.
You were schmitten.
Oh.
smitten.
Smitten.
Yeah, they came in just for like a
There you go. There's one of the words.
I just sat there with them.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
ashamed.
when we
No.
first started talking in the room.
Yeah.
I think we were dating. No.
I do
No,
remember
you
though,
were
like,
once or twice.
there was definitely a lot of like back talk of like how to get
Yes.
you together outside of the oncology department because John was like, I'm just out of a relationship, and he's like, so it kind of feels too soon to be like, do you want to go on a date? And also like, you know, maybe don't go straight there. So do I do coffee or like, and then the house that you know, oh, what if we just like just hang out as friends? Like basically
Yeah.
just talking like he wanted something to be really authentic and didn't want to do the whole like, oh, we're gonna date to then like suddenly just be in this partnership. And it's like, well, why don't you just go like do something, and then there's no pressure on anything,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
if
you
there's
just
just
get
like
to know
a
each other.
natural like chemistry, you'll know it.
Right.
And if
Yeah.
there isn't, be like, sorry, I can't help you with your house. Next weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm busy.
We brought you over to our house for dinner.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was pretty early on in
That
the
was
relationship.
early on.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
I
I
don't
was
even
thinking.
remember the first time I was at your house.
I do.
I was thinking, this is too soon, John. What are you doing? You know, slow down. But that's John. He
But the
knows what he
you know,
wants,
family's
and-
everything. It's like just transparent.
But
with
look at you,
family.
matchmaker.
It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
matchmaker.
Now I'm seeing this one.
Make
Make
me
sure-
a match.
Me a match. I
So,
tried that
We love
forever.
you.
I mean, there might be more to it, but that's the basic.
Yeah.
I think we had a dude brainstorming sesh over an oil change or something. He was like, he was scheming with me. I'm like,
What?
pretty
What-
sure.
Wait, what did he say? He's like, I'm going to ask her for coffee. That's all he ever
Yeah.
told me.
I'm pretty sure. It was a while ago now,
So
so.
we were just trying to come up with like ideas of like, what you know. Like,
Well,
or,
here's the problem. He's shy. Well, not in his job, and in this environment, people he knows.
It's the uniform.
He's-
Makes him brave. Makes him not as shy.
A uniform?
Uniform.
Oh, the
The
uniform.
cop.
I'm saying John's a
I thought he
unicorn.
said unicorn
Chocolate.
too. I'm like, okay. You could be a
Am I not pronouncing words right?
No, I heard it.
But anyway, and you're shy. I mean, again, not in all situations,
No.
but
Not in all situations.
no, not in all situations. But to get two shy people together, yeah, you needed help.
Yeah.
It took Sam, Long, me, Brandon.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Yeah,
really
we-
But
we-
also,
two
I was
shy
like,
and
oh,
two
just have a
outgoing.
relationship.
Oh, so
Oh,
Yeah, so is
What's
he.
that?
Oh, I got fired.
So was I.
Because he was opposites.
But I'll tell you, it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt when what's the black chick's name?
Elsie?
Elsie.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, he's one fine.
Specimen.
Specimen.
I thought he was gonna say, he's one fine cracker.
Well, she could have.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, she's not a cracker jacker. But no. And she'd start hearing stuff like that. She became possessive.
No, he was already my man at that point.
Yeah.
But
was.
still.
You're like,
No,
back
that's
off.
Megan's boyfriend.
No, I'm telling you, they're holy cow. They were so up in the clouds. You could not talk to them.
Us too?
Yeah,
You
she
would
could.
literally, no, you would literally have to get in your face, like go like this, to try to get anything into your brains. Because your eyes, you know that saying, you only have eyes for, you know, that's how it was.
Oh, so what she's saying is the honeymoon's over now, we can actually communicate.
That's right. I don't know, it's not over. No. Not.
And you didn't even have the wedding
Keep
yet,
it
did
alive.
you?
No.
No
Okay, what
pressure.
else? I know, I was like, okay, anybody
No
else
pressure
with
at all.
special memories?
The pin dropped.
Did I say something wrong there?
No. Brenda?
Yes.
Any
Yeah.
special memories?
Or
Just words of
Yes.
wisdom, yeah.
So my favorite, I always remember, is when I got to come over to Bellingham and spend that weekend with you guys. And I always was like so upset because I never got to do it again. But I also lived out of a suitcase because I had divorced parents.
Oh,
And my always go-to was grandma's, but
right.
it was like my favorite aunt and uncle.
Oh.
It was the best weekend getaway ever
Oh, I didn't
for
know
with family
that.
because I
Yeah.
never got to go anywhere other than from my house to my
Dang
dad's
it, I
house
wish
kind of
somebody
thing.
would have told
You
me
know,
that.
so
They moved around a lot though
We
too.
did
Yeah,
move
they
around
did.
a lot.
Oh, there's some
Some
college at that
pretty
one.
cool places, other
Yeah.
places too.
Can I ask
But-
what house in Bellingham were you in?
oh, I don't know.
Was it a big
I
house?
was
Too young to
so
know.
I did.
Yeah, I
No,
can't.
That's when I
Debra
did
did.
like
Yeah.
senior photos over there or something or what? Yeah, I
Senior-
did senior photos. It was the weekend we did senior photos.
Oh, you were that old? You were in high school?
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then it was.
Are you sure you weren't in Bellevue?
Maybe.
Bellevue was,
Or,
oh, you,
or Kirkland?
But I graduated a year early.
what
So
year
I
was
did
it?
my
What year did you
pictures- So I
graduate?
graduated in '84, so I think we did pictures like '83 or whatever.
You were in Kirkland,
Was Kirkland?
and you did one. That's when Pauline was amputee. And you were in Kirkland, Kirkland House.
That was. Totally happened.
Yeah. Well, that's, I mean, you get reference points, but yeah, remember, and you guys were living in the Kirkland house.
Is that the big one or was that?
No,
Brandon?
that's
And you
not
stayed
that.
with us for the weekend?
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool. Did you bring a friend?
No.
Oh.
I just got you guys all to myself and it was the best
Oh,
weekend ever.
cool.
Did you play video games and stuff?
No.
Oh, okay,
There
that's
was
what
no,
Ken
yeah,
did.
there was
Ken was in.
No, we wouldn't have had those back
We just
then.
had like one-on-one.
You did.
That was great.
Was he home?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
At least that's what I remember.
Well, he did
Because he
theater
did theater.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
He was gone a lot.
But yeah, I remember you both being there. But
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Huh.
it
That's
was
pretty
always
cool.
one of my favorite things. And those sandwiches.
I love
good
it.
you made.
She's still like
She's
an
still-
egg
Oh my
sandwich
gosh.
lady,
Right, yeah.
you
It was
know.
like
Yeah.
white bread and mayonnaise and fried eggs with that onion powder. It's the
I
best
can't believe
thing ever.
you dropped the onion powder somewhere along the
I
way.
did do that.
Uh-huh.
And I
Because she
picked
still
up.
makes, I mean, you were just making these things up to a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minus the onion powder though.
But
Yeah, 'cause we
but I
talked
put,
about that.
but I put shredded cheese on top. Did
Oh,
you do
yeah.
that? It's
No.
from Kirkland.
Mhm.
And now I put shredded cheese on
Mhm.
top.
Oh.
She makes the best
That's
fried
what-
egg
But what
sandwiches.
I should do is add the
Onion.
onion powder.
I'm gonna try that now.
It was so
Yeah.
good.
And it's just fried
It was
egg,
so
right?
good.
Not, it's like runny yolk, kind of, runny, oh, yeah.
It was just, yeah, lightly, yeah.
I remember one time we went to the store, and I was 5th grade, so Debbie was in high school. Same house you had to fight with Debbie McCurley. And she goes, she says, oh, I smell that, it smells so good. And I'm like, what? She goes, I'm not telling you, because I'm gonna make some when I get home, and you're not gonna have it, because I couldn't smell it.
I could be such a
You-
brat.
Oh, you were a brat. You're a big sister. But it was just corn tortillas, and you smelled.
Oh.
And she went home and she fried up some corn tortillas with butter and stuff.
Didn't give you any.
Maybe it ran in the family, just the oldest, you know, because I was a brat.
Oh, Rachel was horrible.
Yeah.
Go chase her sisters with a knife.
With me and Mark, it was he was the bigger brother, even though he was, you know how
Younger.
you know, we'd be fighting and, you know, even though he was smaller than me, he would get the better of me because I was wimpy and.
Well, Stephanie would do the same.
And you
Yeah,
joined the
yeah.
Marines.
Well, I wasn't wimpy then. I mean, when we were
When you were
little,
little,
yeah,
right.
and so, and it was like, you know, he, like at school, some guy was messing with me. Mark came. I didn't even see him where he came from. He came and socked this guy from out of nowhere. That was, we were talking shit. Well, he's talking shit to me, and I didn't want to fight. I fight him.
Right.
All of a sudden, Mark, bam, hits the guy. I'm like, what the hell was that? So he like defended me like a big brother would do.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's why I kind of felt like a little brother kind of
Oh,
comparing him.
yeah.
Even though he's 2 years younger than me, it was
Colleen
just a
did the big
weird.
sister thing,
weird
and
thing.
she's the middle, and she did the
Yeah,
big sister
yeah.
thing.
That's,
Don't mess with my sister, I'll take you down.
Yeah, one thing for the camera, really quick, not to interject. Cutest freaking thing. John is 5, Jackie's 3. He comes out of the bedroom into the living room and he says, I want to be a policeman when I grow up. And I'm like, really? Yeah, I want to be a policeman when I grow up. And he turns to Jackie and he says, Jackie, do you want to be a police girl when you grow up? And I think she felt like she had to say yes. I don't really remember.
Well, no, you told this before, and you said that he said, "Do you want to be a police girl, a fire girl, or a
Medic girl.
medic girl?" Like, because in his brain there were only like
That's
three
all.
potential
Yes.
options, and I was like, I want to be a singer or a dancer or something
Yeah,
like that. I
that's
was like
right.
a singer and a dancer.
But it's so cute that at 5, in his head, those were the only options.
Yeah. A
Is,
police girl, a fire girl, or an ambulance girl.
Mhm.
yeah,
That's so cute.
Right.
Yeah.
so cute.
And then look at you now.
And not a lot of fire girls too, so that's weird that you
Yeah.
heard that.
I have a question for you. Was there a TV show or something that sparked that for you? Like emergency or, you
Cops. I
know?
mean, probably just
Well,
cops.
5 years old, we have cops.
You
back
are
out there.
Well, I don't know if you guys watched Cops or not.
We did.
Was
It was on
Cops
that.
on then?
No.
Oh yeah, Cops has been
Yeah.
on since like
That's
a
amazing.
long
Movie,
time.
a cop.
the 80s.
Yeah, probably
Maybe
late
90s.
80s to early 90s for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
we were.
Yeah.
Rescue
Yeah.
911.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we watched all of it.
Yep,
That was all
emergency,
about
emergency.
that. That was just like totally amazed by it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
I just
but
remember
didn't know
Cops
that.
I
being
will
like
watch it with me.
shaky Blair Witch footage, you know, just
Right,
like
yeah.
chasing a tweaker down an alley, like shaky camera. It's all dark, you know. You're like, he's like, get down, and
Yeah.
the drama, but I can't see anything. And it's like my whole impression of the whole show.
Right.
Yeah, that
It's a really
shaky camera,
crazy-
man.
Really crazy thing
Yeah.
In the
is
70s.
his
when I was-
biological grandfather was a police officer in Los Angeles. So it's like a little
Runs in
bit
the blood.
running in the blood.
It'll be
But
interesting to
then
see what Oliver.
the man that adopted me, that I really knew as my father, was also into policing, law
He was a
enforcement,
military.
military
Military
police.
cop in World
Oh.
War II. That was, and then he was a guard, security for, worked for Burns Detective Agency, and was guard at, McDonnell Douglas aircraft.
Yeah, I just find that
Yeah.
sort of fascinating.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, right, because I mean, you guys were like old hippies, and you know, like had there was
Exactly.
Yeah,
no-
talk about going against the
Right.
parents.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Debbie used to, she'd see a cop come down the street and she'd think they're actor. I mean, he's gonna be a cop, how are you gonna handle that, Deb? You know?
There were some interesting times with that.
Yeah.
You know, where when he went into cadet mode, and you know. It would be crazy if Oliver followed that path, though, because in his family, both your dad and stepdad were police officers.
And then
Oh my
favorite
gosh.
uncle.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Karen,
We'll see where that's
do
even
you
at.
wanna add?
Yeah, we're just doing any special memories or even just like little
Robo
tidbits of
cops
wisdom.
up there by then.
It'll all be drone ran at that point.
Yeah.
Don't put off picking up the phone,
Yeah.
just don't.
To everybody,
Mhm.
don't put off picking up the phone to call somebody, yeah.
I'm horrible at that. I'm horrible about that.
That's why we text.
Yeah, I
See,
think it would
I
take
mean,
some time, but
That will work too at times.
just to, yeah, we would do that once in a while, but I was.
We've got, I mean, really over the last 2 years, we've gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, I'm terrible. We're all terrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I think I
guilty.
passed that on to Jackie.
Yeah,
I mean, she said friends like, you never call.
right, well, part
Well,
of
and
it,
I've
part
lost
of it,
friendships for it, cause you do have to like tend and nurture relationships,
Right.
you know, it's been a lesson I'm learning in my, you know, 30s.
right, and the problem with calling Debbie is we always talk for 2 or 3 hours.
I know, right?
Dinner, what, Tim? No, sorry, not today, I'm still. Feed the dog.
And every person says that, like every single person.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
and oh my gosh, I want to say this, Cameron. My friends, all of them, ended up having a separate relationship with her. Like I would come home and she'd be on the phone with like my best friend, you know,
Right.
and they would talk for hours. All of them, every single one of them would
Yep,
call and talk to my mom for hours and
right,
just and
I
that
was a
continued.
mom to a lot of people.
yeah,
Mhm.
Well, the weird thing is when Ken wanted kids, I said, okay, if we're having kids, we're gonna have 3. We're gonna have 2 and adopt 1, or we're gonna have 1 and adopt 2. And the crazy thing is it's like I ended up adopting
Adopting
everybody.
Right. Yeah.
I
Seriously.
love
Yeah.
kids. Yeah, that's pretty
and
cool.
that was before you knew that you were adopted. That you weren't.
Exactly.
I blew that one wide
Right.
open.
I did,
No, she
I
did.
did.
She called me on the phone.
No, remember
No, we were talking.
we were having we were at your
Oh,
place
you're
and we were
right.
having the
They
no,
were
that's
having-
when she first found out.
No,
And
that's
Mark,
not-
when Mark found out
That's
too.
when I
when
told Mark and you both at the same time, and I told
no, I
Debbie.
found the
Okay,
papers
and you asked me
up in
about it.
Alaska, and
And
then
then you asked me about it, and I talked, that's when Mark found out, but Debbie,
but we were all sitting around.
not Debbie,
Yes, all
she
four
was
of us.
never
I
in my
wasn't there.
apartment. She was never in that apartment.
Then it
because
wasn't that
we had a falling
apartment.
out.
Yeah.
I was in Kennewick, Debbie had had John Michael,
I remember this
and
vividly.
was saying, I always
And
wondered
You
where
were
the
talking to her, you and Mark
Mark
were
were talking
talking
to
to
me.
her. She
and Chris was
found,
there. That was the
adoption
dog, or you guys
papers.
were
I
on.
found the adoption papers up in Alaska.
oh, you found the adoption.
And I brought it up when we were all drinking wine coolers, and I can't remember exactly where it was. It was all 4 of us,
Debbie.
and I brought it up, and everyone was crying. I remember it like yesterday.
No,
Well, you
It is-
must have been projecting me there because I wasn't there, I had a baby.
she was never at that place.
Well,
ever.
I'm not
Because
sure
we
it
had
was
a
that
falling
place,
out.
but it was
But-
someplace, and we were drinking wine coolers.
Well, you know, it could have been after I had
Right.
found out. But no, that's not
Maybe.
true, I didn't drink for 7 years after I had it. I didn't drink for 7 years after I
Maybe I'm
had it.
projecting, but I vividly remember that time, and I brought up finding those papers up in Alaska,
And that's when I
And-
said, yeah. I told
and
you.
then yeah.
And I
you-
said, yes, and
Were
then
you
Mark
in
was like,
Alaska?
no, no, I found the papers in Kent, or in Algona, when you guys were living in Algona. Specific. I knew you guys
Oh,
were
yeah.
adopted,
So I was little, but yeah,
but Debbie,
you didn't know
we
Debbie was
had,
adopted.
we had a falling out,
Right,
and we hadn't talked for a while, and then we
Right.
had John Michael, and for some reason, we were talking on the phone again. I don't know,
Right.
called me, I told you, whatever,
yeah.
and,
Well, you started realizing for medical reasons because I
you,
had
but,
my
and
child.
you were saying, I just don't know where this baby's, my beautiful blonde hair, where
Right,
did this
and blue
blonde
eyes
hair and these blue eyes come
come
from?
from. Mhm.
And then I just went, I was like, you know, you were talking about heritage and blah, 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 and I just,
Lost it, yeah.
I told you. I just,
Yeah.
and Bob called me and I hung up,
Oh, I'm
I
sure
told
that
him to
was
go
not
out
good.
himself and hung up on him.
Which, you know, in reality was never any of his business.
No, it wasn't. Oh, and he yelled at me about the boys. Oh boy, he was really pissed when he found out that I told the boys that I confirmed it.
They
Yeah, but I found those papers up in Alaska, and
But you
I
never
knew
said
for a
anything.
while.
He-
Yeah, I never said anything for a while, and that's why I remember. I thought it was all of us. We were sitting around, and I brought it up. Yeah, I found the adoption papers, and you were asking, would you find any for me? And I was like, no, just me, Mark, and Debbie. And that's when everyone was crying. I vividly remember that. I know we were
We were
drinking,
crying, you
but
guys were crying, yeah, you
Oh,
and
so
Mark and I was crying.
were you not adopted?
no.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I thought you were.
What?
I thought you were.
Yeah, she wasn't adopted.
Oh, yeah, she was. I
Mom
thought you
couldn't
were
have
saying you
babies
weren't.
though after her. That's
Or before, she had lots of miscarriages.
oh yeah, yeah.
She had to
yeah.
take vitamin K, she would, is vitamin K a blood thinner?
Ketamine?
No, no.
Not that bad. Not that bad.
Well, that's what vitamin K is called.
No, it stops, it
Or that's
helps
not
your blood
ketamine.
clot. Vitamin K helps your
Uh-huh.
blood clot,
Clot,
because she
yeah.
would bleed out, yeah, she kept bleeding. And she had to take a lot, high doses of that when she was pregnant with me, in order to.
Yeah, and to find out when you're 35 that you're adopted, and your 6-month-old son, who has platinum blonde hair and blue eyes, is not genetically who you thought he was, I've like walked right into the twilight zone.
I'm sorry.
I know. Well, I'm glad you told me though.
You had to.
Well,
I always had a suspicion though, because
Yeah.
I'd see other families and they all look like clones of each other.
Right.
And then I'd look at us and I'm like, well, me and Debbie are kind of alike,
Yeah.
and Mark and Karen are
Yeah.
more kind of
Yeah.
alike, but
yeah.
didn't see that, and I'm like, that was weird. And
Yeah,
I
well,
always
you
had
had-
that. I was
you
since
guys-
I was little. I was like,
you
that's
guys,
kind of weird.
Karen told you guys had a right to know that you were not
A Northway, or.
genetically of that
Yeah.
monster.
Mom was upset about it because she thought we wouldn't love her
Right,
if we found out.
she was very
we
insecure
were,
in
yeah,
people loving
yeah.
because of her love.
And I told her, I was like, it's no big deal to me. I don't even care how it is. You're my mom. So,
Right.
and it's nice to know that Bob wasn't actually, I wasn't.
Exactly.
Related to
Who
him.
would want him as
Spawn.
a
It is
father?
Spawn.
Yeah. I mean, I had the big nose like you did, and
Yeah.
I still have all my
You
hairs
should
and
not have a
all.
big nose. What?
No, he said
No.
he has,
Oh,
not you.
Yeah.
I thought you
No.
said I had a
When you're
big
teased,
nose.
No,
yeah,
he
when
said
you're
that-
teased as much as I was. I mean,
Oh.
Mom would even say, because I, have the chest thing going on. When I was little, I had a big chest, and she would go, "We're gonna have to get you a training bra." To a little kid.
Aww.
She was
Yeah,
not
she
very,
actually was not very nice.
Well,
sometimes.
to
she
you.
was teasing, so she wasn't
She
like
was
mean,
teasing, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she-
but that just still hurts you, you still remember it.
Yeah, well,
Exactly,
Well, I
yes.
didn't. I'm not obsessed with it because I, realized that.
But it marked your
at the
memory.
time, I was like, that's a weird thing to say, and I was like,
Marked your memory. Yeah,
Didn't
those are
think-
those things that do
didn't
that.
think of
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I got
Well,
double D's.
You know,
And you know
I
I
gotta
dropped
lose
you on
some
your
weight,
head.
though.
I
Not
dropped you on your
fair.
head when you were young.
there again, you're very kind and very
Not
loyal.
fair.
I admire
crossed
you
mine.
for maintaining that with her. I couldn't do it. I just
And
can't.
even to be there for Bob when it was.
I couldn't.
I felt I owed him because I lived on and off with them and kind of took advantage, and at the end there I was mowing their lawn every week and just
Yeah.
trying to do what I could to make up for being a shitty kid for all those years.
Right.
And I think I got close to it, and especially helping with Dad. And after she
Right.
asked me,
Mom
I mean,
appreciated it at that point.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and Bob too. She says that everybody else. I don't care what anybody. He's still here and he's still blah 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 and whatever. I'm happy you're happy.
Right.
Well, she was
At the expense of your
Yeah,
kids.
I wouldn't say she was happy, but she.
Well,
She
Yeah.
shall we?
thrived on that.
Are we done? I mean,
Well, anybody,
is it
any
time for
last,
I
cherry?
have a
Anybody?
question.
yeah.
Do you have a favorite holiday memory at Grandma's?
Mm.
Or something funny
Hmm.
to share?
Oh, I mean, there would be funny things.
There's lots of them. I
Lots
think.
of funny things. It's just kind of remembering them. I mean, some of the funniest things, really, for the group, the 20 people that gather there,
Mhm.
would be either Joy or Kimberly showing up late, like 10 minutes after dinner has been served.
Oh, God.
And well, I hit a deer,
Uh-huh.
and I had to drag it off the. I had to
Oh
drag
my
it off
gosh.
the road and
No
skin
joke.
it and skin it.
What?
And that's why she was
Yeah,
late.
and hang it in her garage.
And
I
hang
was
it in
hoping
her
that's
garage.
the one you were gonna
Yeah.
tell.
Oh my gosh.
No joke.
And she was
I remember
serious.
that.
Joey was serious.
This
Oh,
was
this
Kimberly.
is Kimberly.
Kimberly.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
She's her mother. Mhm.
Also, just
Wow.
that the tables that they got out literally took up the entire living room, so people could barely get into their seats.
Uh-huh.
And then I remember just as a kid, I wanted to get out. I would like have to crawl under, and I would crawl under the table.
And then
to
where are
get
you
out.
gonna go?
And then I don't know where I did go. I'm not really sure, but.
Well, there was
And then
sofas and
MD,
chairs.
the bathroom?
Mom would be, and Aunt Penny would be smoking outside. There'd be like the smokers outside on the front porch. There'd be the people in the kitchen.
And some
which would
people
be
would
great.
And if
say,
you were a kid, you were like, get out of the kitchen. Get out, get out.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
right.
Yeah.
But some of the people would say they're gonna go out and be with the cool smokers.
Yeah. Oh, and so on that note, I'll end it with what you were just sharing with me at the table, which is because we were talking about how joyful it's been to have everybody gathering and just spending time together and all the love. She's like, well, we need to do this all the time. Like, why wait until somebody's
Right.
passing or going to be gone for
Or a
this to
holiday.
yeah, or a holiday, and that. Because she goes, think about it, like we all just stopped everything we were doing to be together. So just
Like, it wasn't that hard to come do this.
like it wasn't actually
Yeah.
that difficult to just
Yeah.
stop what we're doing and get together. So just to remember to do that.
Yeah.
We shouldn't make it so hard to, do that stuff, make the time to
That's
do
right.
that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
There's
hope,
like no
that-
reason why we
I
can't
hope
do
that
this.
you guys do that.
Yeah.
No regrets.
Mm-hmm.
You probably
Spend time
won't,
with
but
each other.
maybe all it
Maybe
would take,
more than we used to.
all it would take is two of you
Mhm.
to just say, come on,
Let's
let's,
get
you know,
together.
next weekend or, whatever.
Yeah, especially with
Let's-
Oliver too. I want
let's
him to have all
spend-
those traditions.
Yeah.
But we do that all the time. We're like, oh, let's get together this weekend. Oh, yeah, well, okay,
Yeah,
well, this we can go in
right.
2 weeks from. And
Right.
then we
We're
end up
terrible
not
like
doing
that.
it. Like
Yeah.
it's so bad.
Totally.
And then we always just let it go because
Yeah.
we move on to the next thing. And it's not just one of us; it's all of us.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
it's like
Yeah, but
let's
if it's
just
I would
plan.
do
planned,
is
if it's planned, it's on the
summer.
calendar.
What I would like to plan in the family is to have like a summer get together,
Mhm.
cause you always do
You mean
Christmas.
something like
Yeah.
a reunion
Right,
or
make it be
something?
more intentional.
Yeah, just like, even just your.
No, you're right, like a summer thing, cause that's
It's outside and you can
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
be anywhere.
Make
you
our
know?
own holiday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm
I
up
like
for
that.
it.
Exactly.
And not just to party, but to actually
Aw.
do something like this.
Yeah.
Well,
Have-
together,
have-
whatever that
know,
looks like.
In
We
this
can call it
last
Debra's
year,
Day.
we've
Debra's
made
Day.
new, in this
Yeah.
last year,
Oh,
we've
Debra's
Debra's
Day.
We've made new.
On her
memories.
birthday, Chills 311.
Mm.
On her
How about
birthday.
Flong's Day?
Flong's Day. Flong's Day.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's that?
That would still be
Flong,
cold
flong.
though.
He doesn't know
that's
what
still his
flong,
name.
he doesn't know what flong is.
That sounds familiar though.
We call her Flong Flong. It's like
Okay, John and I we talked to Alien when he was like 2 years old. When you're talking with a baby, my whole thing is you talk, you like go over there and get that red ball. They're not gonna learn language unless you speak it to
Yeah.
them, right? And we knew friends that they had kids that really didn't have much language, like even 5, 6, 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd say to John, let's go vacuum now. Well, anyway, so I believe he was about 2, and we'd just talk gibberish to each other. He'd say something, and I would pretend like I knew what he was saying. So I'm like, oh yeah, I totally will get that.
Yeah.
Bebop, bop, bop, bop. And
I do the
she
makeup
knows how
language
much I
thing.
do
Right.
makeup language stuff.
I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it? You were always in the kitchen. She's always like, when she was living with us.
Ching-chang.
Yeah, bunch
Ching chang,
Chinkabonka.
Oh yeah,
It's
Chinkabonka.
She'd be
Chinkabonka.
just be in the kitchen all the time. She'd talking to herself, mumbling, muttering. Mess around in the fridge.
Chinkabonga. That's a good thing to remember.
Just
It's
talking to herself.
Chinkabonga Day.
Yeah.
You could do Chinkabonga Day, Flonga Day.
Yeah, so
I
she
like
would
flong.
make up words and,
Yeah, but anyway, so I would make up words, and I don't know who said it first, but I think I don't know what, I like to rhyme a lot of things anyway. And he said something, and I said, oh, my baby bong bong. And he goes, oh, my flong flong.
And it's
That
stuck.
was so cute. And So I continue to call him my baby Bong Bong, and he called me Flong Flong. My Flong Flong.
I
And
can't believe when we were 2.
Yeah.
yeah, and so really big time over the last 5 years, they have they write my birthday cards to Flong, Flongy to Flong Bong. He's sometimes John Bon Jovi, Bong and Jovi.
It is funny that you're Bong Bong.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he's my Bong Bong. I know.
No,
That has
like,
nothing to do with the
little baby
smoking.
Bing
Yeah, I
Bong.
know.
It's just
Yeah,
been-
now we have baby Bing Bong for
Yeah, we have a
Oliver.
baby Bing Bong.
She's P Bong.
J-Bong,
J-Bong.
J-Bong,
J-Bong.
K-Bong,
I'm
S-Bong,
Um,
M-Bong,
You're like, I don't want to.
And Bob.
B-Bong, and
She calls me baby Bong.
B-bomb again.
Another bee bomb.
Yeah.
yeah, another B-Bong. We have a couple of
Grandma.
B-Bongs.
I love you, Flong
I
Flong.
love you, B-Bong.
You ready for some cherry pie and
Yes,
vanilla
let's have
ice
some cherry
cream?
pie and-
Can I get a picture of the siblings, please?
Oh, the 3?
Oh, let me get. Ow, ow, ow. So you know you're like.
Oh, I guess that means me.
Yeah.
Actually, Karen, can you sit up? Oh, yeah, you sit here.
Me?
Scott.
I'll have Scott sit in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, you sit there.
Move.
Oh.
Okay.